It's all weird these days. Right, here we are, guys. We are live. Going, going, going live. I did tell you. I told you to get in the frame, didn't I?
I was a bit busy stuffing my face.
Of course you are.
But I haven't had anything.
Right, we are live. You have 17 people viewing. You had 18,
Really?
but one person ran away because they saw you were
One
eating.
person went.
And now it's gone down to 12. Hello, guys.
Hi there, everyone.
Hello,
How are
everybody.
you doing? Welcome along to another Loft chat here with me, Jenny Kirk. And if the Cupboard Monkey turns off the main light, then we will. Don't turn the computer off. Is that better? We're getting an echo. We're getting the howl around
The
because the Cupboard
computer
Monkey.
is turned off.
Yeah, because you went and turned the power button. So
Well, I'm so sorry. I thought it wasn't turned on.
well, it was.
Well, there you
So
are.
if the Cupboard Monkey will turn the computer back on.
You just want everything, you do.
I do.
No, children.
So we're stuffing our face with pasta bacon. It's great to have you all along.
Right,
Yeah, it's my model.
since the computer isn't running yet, here you go. There's the
Why
chat.
is the screen frozen?
It hasn't.
Will you be able to bring me a cushion? Or
Is the screen actually working? My goodness, everything has gone off because it was telling me that.
Hey, do you want to plug the power in?
Yeah, it froze because the power wasn't on.
Hmm.
Because it smells.
Yeah, it smells of poo. So it's great to have you all
We're
in.
so mature, aren't we,
Don't
guys?
forget to hit that like button. We've got 51 people in. 5
I
likes.
didn't
so we
break
need
it,
to-
Combat Bunny. I didn't break it.
So-
I'm Technical Monkey.
So we're just at the moment we're going to
cripple monkey.
I'm going to bring up a chair for
Bring
you.
or a poof horn.
a poof.
A poof.
So
cushion.
Combat Bunny's in the room. Says hi, Chris Whittingham. Evening to you.
Evening, everybody.
Adams Railway evening. I've stopped watching Sam's latest review of a ballpoint pen to join the. Really? Is he seriously doing that? A review of a ballpoint pen? He did review the day. I'm just saying. He was it this one? I don't know whether it was this. It might have been this one. He reviewed one of these and it had a bit of a clickbaity title like "Have I been ripped off?" Well, spoiler alert. No, if you buy one of these, you've not been ripped off. They're actually really good. We've got J. Paul Anderson. Hi there, Jen and Co.
Hiya.
Patrick Ling. Hi, Jenny. Hope you had a great week. Thank you very much. Yes, I did, and I hope you did as well. J94 says hi. CSX Wrensville. Evening to you. New Mills Model Railway. Good evening, guys. Hope
Good
we're
evening.
all well. Are we getting a storm a weekend? Do you reckon? Actually, yeah, we've had two in a row.
Yeah.
And there was flooding even before we had Storm Dennis. So we had Storm, was it Kira or something? And then we had Storm Dennis. So the flooding was pretty bad. Brockwell Lane asks, evening all, what's
You need
running
anything
around?
No.
I need you to get the chat up and running on the main computer screen if you would.
Technical Monkey to the rescue.
We've got a Class 25 in two-tone green, pulling behind it 3 Monsell coaches in Crimson and Cream, plus a Mark 1 full brake of the Hornby variety, also in Crimson and Cream. And
Is
these,
that ball the new Dipole ball locomotive? Or
no, well, it's like people are wondering, oh, what's the Cupboard Monkey going on about? Because they can't see that.
she's put a ball of lunch on there.
As I was saying,
It's a
before I
flying
was
saucer.
rudely interrupted,
Landed.
and the couplings between those coaches,
flying
I'm doing a
saucer.
full road test for Hunt couplings, and they're actually really good. I've had no problems. That train has been running non-stop now for about 3 hours, and not a single derailment, not a single slipped coach. So I'm very, very pleased. So look out on Wednesday to me joining the party last, because loads of people broke the embargo and put reviews out over the weekend. For the Hunt coupling, and actually it's really, really good. And I've done a slightly different format. What I did was I did like the ultimate test between that and a number of other close coupling options. And in all honesty, the Hunt coupling really did come out on top. Somerset Andy says, good evening everybody. Huntsheath Model Railway says stick 10 bob in the meter. I think he's trying to say that it's a bit dim in here. Let's just turn that round a bit, then it doesn't
Hey,
glare.
stop calling my wife dim.
That might help a little bit, because then you're not getting the full-on glare from that.
It is a bit intimate. Do you not want a light on over here?
I can't. You do your special dance with that. Just mind Les's tree before you demolish everything.
What's that? Demolish all the trees?
You can't get the cupboard monkeys these days, can you? Stefan Jones says, hi, Donegal Dad, evening to you. Fat Wallet Boy 2, evening folks. I've had my tea, now I'm chomping on some gingerbread, men. So, do you bite the head off first, or just nibble away at
You've
extremities?
got to, otherwise it's just not, it's not humane, is it?
Leslie Gilpin, it's the Hornby ballpoint pen. Are you serious? The Hornby ballpoint pen?
Who's reviewed a pen?
I'll give you one guess. Sam's
right.
Trains.
Why?
Alan
Because
Reynolds,
he's
PVA
weird.
J Cloth Alan says hello all. Reachy Download
Hello,
Festival
everybody.
goer. Evening, Melchester Model Railway. Sam didn't really like the GWR rail car. No, Sam doesn't like Daypol because he's blacklisted by them, I think. So,
Which came first, the blacklisting or the not liking?
Oh god, it's like being interviewed by the
Yes.
Gestapo.
You will answer the questions.
Yes, so
Where is the Madonna with the big boobies?
yes, the Von Klomp with the cracked vase.
How's that?
That's pretty good, thanks. Yeah, he was a bit mean on it, but no, we're just getting the shadow from the phone when you put it there. Right, that's better.
Thank you. I'll have
I'm
my
not sure
phone
how
back.
much I'm allowed to really say, but I know that Sam's Trains fell out with Daypol, so there's a bit of an axe being ground there. But it does beg the question, if you slag off a model because there's some kind of animosity between you and the company, doesn't that compromise your integrity? That's what I would view. And one of the things, people may say I've had a few axes to grind with Bachmann, and I've had stuff to get off my chest about that, but I still like Bachmann stuff. I may have my gripes about their methods of communication, the fact that they despise all YouTubers.
They don't despise you, they just think you're a waste of time and space.
Yeah, and like some of the pricing strategies, but fundamentally products are good. So we've got a review of the Class 43, the North British Class 43 from Bachmann coming out in the next couple of weeks. And, spoiler alert, I really like the model. So I'm quite happy to be truthful about these things. Adams Railway says, yep, agreed about his approach to Daypol. I know he doesn't like Helgen either, but the thing about Helgen, it's quite odd, they don't really do YouTubers at all, so nobody gets any favours from Helgen. But you'll notice on my channel, I do review a lot of Helgen locomotives, and every single one that you see, I have paid for that out of my own pocket. It's a model that I wanted to buy anyway, and generally they do review quite high. So we've had, things like Class 26, we've had the Pannier tank, we've also had, what other Helgen models have we had recently? Class 5 shunter we've done, Class 7 shunter. I'm just looking around for some inspiration. What other Helgen models? I think we did the Class 52 as a Helgen. So there's a number of Helgen models I've done, and they've all done quite well, because I really like a lot of what they do, but I've noticed that he does really dislike Helgen, and I don't think a lot of it is deserved. New Mills Model Railway says, stunning looking rake you've got going round right now. That's, as I was saying before, it's Crimson and Cream. 3 of them are Southern Monsell coaches from Hornby Stable, and then the Mark 1 full brake is also a Hornby Mark 1 full brake, and they are really nice. Yeah. I've had a bit of a change going on up here in Weir Yard, and I've rolled it back to sort of like 1950s, early 1960s, so I can get like BR Green, Crimson and Cream, and a lot of steam locomotives. But I'm going to let's have a look. What else we got? Somebody did criticise that apparently, they thought that there was that I was conspiring not to read their comments. The comments do come in very, very quickly. So if I miss your comments, it's by accident, not design. And even now, I can tell there's comments streaming in, and I'm talking to you, so I can't physically read them. If you're asking,
to read them from here anyway.
If you're asking a question, a valid question, and I don't answer it, it'll simply be because I've missed the comment, not because I'm ignoring it. I don't favour it.
Ask it again.
Yeah, basically just ask it again after a little while. They also said that they thought I was reading out more of the people with the spanner of ultimate power, i.e. the moderators. It just isn't the case. It just, sometimes it falls like that. Brian Moser says, did Les get his plates? He did, and he's fitted them.
Yes, they're on. We've got the engine here. Jenny was going to, sometime in the next week or so, put the DC chip in it.
I
But
can do it tonight. Actually, I have to pick it. It's actually downstairs waiting for me to do
But
it.
yes, didn't have too much trouble at all. The main plate on the side, I managed to sort of get a blade under it and prise it off very carefully. I've now put those two on eBay to try and get some pennies back if anybody's interested. And then it was just straightforward, just dab of super glue on the little points where the others had come off, and the City of Wells was put on. And then Brian from 24/7, brilliant service, very helpful, and he actually sent me some numbers as well, which he doesn't normally do. But he said that these would probably fit. So I've got a little sheet of numbers, little transfers, and what I was able to do, because it was quite crafty, that the number of the engine that I had, it was only the last 2 digits that needed changing to be the City of Wells, and I was able just to scrape a tiny little bit of that number off and then apply the other 2 over the top. So, all right, you know, critical eye, probably some people might say, well, you know, it could have been a little bit better, but for me doing it for the first time, I'm happy with
think
it.
from the pictures
And,
I've seen it, you've done
looks
a really good job.
Looks okay, and it now means more to me than the original train did, because like I said before on my pages, it's one I was fortunate enough to go on the footplate with on me.
Well, yeah,
birthday.
and also because you wrangled a visit for a whole load of people from Biggest Little Railway.
I did, yeah.
And
Thanks
we
to
got
Nigel Shaw, my in-law, who managed to do all that for us.
Yeah, at the East Lancs Railway. So on my channel, there's some footplate footage because I got to ride on the footplate. Did you get to ride on it a second time?
I did. I'd already done it on my birthday 3 or 4 years ago, so that's why.
Did you do it again?
Yes, I did. I came back on it. Yeah, great.
So let's have a look at the comments. Melchester Model Railway, what region era is Crimson and Cream? Well, this is sort of BR Era 4. Essentially, once they started to get rid of the big 4 livery applications, Crimson and Cream became the first BR standard livery, and I really like it.
Yeah,
It's kind of, it says things about the post-war 1950s optimism before the 60s came in and trashed our transport infrastructure.
I'm interested to see those couplings because I
well,
might have to change some of mine.
Yeah, I just filmed the review.
I'll have a look at it. Yeah.
So there they are. But
So they go in just the same as in the little end pocket.
Yeah,
things.
but they're magnetic.
Oh wow.
And you would have thought that magnets, like, oh, but it's gonna, like, if you get a really long, heavy train, it would pull apart. It doesn't.
No.
So
There's
if
quite a bit of weight there
well, if you look there, the locomotives lost traction.
because it won't separate.
But if I just do that, I can just separate the coaches. And then if we slide that one back up to meet the back of the train, I just do that, and it just clips back together. It's good though, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
And like I said, I've had that running around for about 3 hours now. So mostly because I went downstairs to do something and forgot that I left it running. I just finished
So is
filming
that
the review.
the pack.
Yeah, there's a few different packs here.
So how do you know which ones are for particular coaches or wagons, or are they universal?
They're fairly universal as far as I can
Yeah.
tell. So they have things like, these are both standards, then they have some close coupling, they have cranked ones and uncranked ones.
Because I've ordered some of these concertina like bellows for
Oh, yes, yeah.
between coaches and everything. Because I've got some Pullman coaches coming.
Right.
On something like that, would you have to lose the longer one?
If they've got NEM pockets, then these couplings would work.
But-
So what I might have to do, I'll give you one of these packs if you want. So
I'll try one out with it.
So I'll give that to you.
Thank
So you can try them out,
Yeah.
give them a road test, and it should have all the details on there on the back. Yeah, westhillwagonworks.co.uk, and
It's good to me.
I am, aren't I? Yeah. But these are what I've been reviewing, so look out for that on Wednesday. We've got a comparison video between the Hornby close couplers, the Hunt couplings close couplers, and also the Bachmann solid coupling bar, plus the tension lock couplings as well, to get the benchmark which to test it
So
against.
they are only available online, or are the hobby shops stocking them?
Triggers21 says, Jenny, could you say hi to my kids? They love your layout. Well, hello, Trigger21's kids.
Hello, Trigger
It's
21's
great-
kids. Yes.
It's great to have you watching and to welcome you up here to Weir Yard. and I'm really glad you loved the model. It's largely complete, although I'm still excited. You're going to be doing some more backs in at some point.
Yes, I am.
He's sitting there going, oh, I forgot about
No,
that.
I haven't forgotten about it. I've got to make another apology because of wedding planning and everything else. It's curtailing the days that I can come.
Trains in the garage says,
Sorted.
got my Hunt close coupling magnets this morning. A great bit of kit. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the sleeper hits of the year, to the extent where I think a lot of people are going to go, why has nobody thought of this before? They are really, really good.
What happens, people who want to use these for shunting yards and things like that?
That's the one drawback which I found. If you're wanting to shunt wagons about, then probably not. But as you see in that rake of coaches that's going around, normally you'd get like it would just slip a coupling over there and stuff, and it just hasn't done that. And the 3 coaches at the front, I had them running around before I did any of the filming, and it kept like leaving a coach behind. It was blooming irritating. But with that, it's never done it once. It really does increase reliability. To the point, actually, that when we're at Ali Pali with the War of the Worlds layout, I might fit some of the stuff we run around with those, just so that we can then leave it running and like chat with the crowd and stuff. So yeah, look out for us at Alexandra Palace. We are going to be stand 44, War of the Worlds.
Put that number down on your lottery.
Yeah.
Yes. And we believe that the layout will be going abroad afterwards, don't we?
Yes, to Sweden.
Yes.
Just looking at the comments, Leslie Gilpin, I have an engaged short train coupled together by magnets from about 8 or 9 years ago. Gamehammer Classic Gaming, Oliver Cromwell had a footplate. Yeah, it's a locomotive. You're putting the comments in too quick. Hunts Heath Model Railway, thank you, Jenny. Only available online at the moment. So that'll be through West Hill Wagon Works. westhillwagonworks.co.uk. But yeah, I think they're very much, I'll hold that up again so people can take a look at what they're looking for, and that's the back. It's very much the sleeper hit of the little gadgets and gizmos of the year. I've billed the Daypole Class 29 as being so far the locomotive of the year, but certainly these Hunt's couplings, I'll admit I thought all magnets they're going to pull apart. And I can't get them to natively pull apart. Like I say, if I then, I'm just going to wait until that's in shot. There you are. I'm pulling on the back of this train, and they're just because I jerked it. But I can pull the locomotive backwards, and those magnets don't let go, which is brilliant. Combat Bunny about $12.95. Oh right, yes, that for the couplings. Hunts Heath Model Railway says I designed them primarily for reliability. Like I said, that train's been doing the rounds because I forgot it was running for about 3 hours. And normally on that upper track, there'd have been a pile-up by now. But those coaches have held together so well, and it's brilliant. So reliability, it has dramatically improved. So if you've got any kind of unevenness, wibbly-wobbliness in the track or tight corners, they do make a great difference on reliability. Stefan Jones, won't the magnet strength wear off over time? I'm presuming that they're high-strength neodymium magnets. I don't know on that one, but it has to be said that neodymium magnets do tend to be quite good for keeping their magnetism, unless you do something stupid like put them through an AC current field. They're generally going to be okay, I guess. Brockwell Lane, I could use some of those couplers for my 009. I hate the standard ones they come with. Yeah, I must say, I've become very good, like within the space of filming a review, I've become a big fan of them, and like I said, I now view them as being the sleeper hit of gadgets and gizmos for the year. Thank you, Combat Bunny, posting up the link there if anybody's interested in going checking out those couplings. Tim Davis says hello everyone.
Hello, Tim.
Fat Wallet Boy 2. I cut the Bachmann dummy brake pipe coupler in half, fitted magnets about 3 years ago, and they held firm. Wished I'd patented it now. It's one of those things, isn't it? When somebody comes up with a great idea, you do wish you patented it, but it's not just patenting it, it's actually getting it to market, and that's what Hunt's Couplings have managed to do. Lakota Theoralf, excited for the Grey Peckett release. Yeah, I think the Hornby Peckett W4. You bought one, didn't you?
I've got a little green, that pale green one. Haven't
Did
I?
we put a chip in it?
Have I got? Yes, you have. You've chipped it for me.
Right, because sorry, what now,
Do
Cupboard
you
Monk?
guys need anything?
Yeah, take this away and then bring up dessert, would you?
Okay.
Would you like some roulade?
No, thank you.
Officially, if his wife's watching, he doesn't. But unofficially,
I'll have another coffee with a little bit more milk and one sugar in, please.
what we'll do, Les, is we'll put the dessert over there where it's off camera, and you can go, oh, I need to check that, and then all we'll hear is this.
Don't believe her, Joe. Don't believe her.
David Watts says, oh gosh, 139 watching, only 32 likes.
You
Well, it's gotta-
miserable lot. Put your finger on the button.
Come on, mash that button, mash the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, also don't forget to subscribe too. And is your YouTube channel up and running?
No.
Do you know what my special guest was Wardle Road last week?
I know. I watched.
Do you know how many subscribers he gained over the course of the live stream? 100.
Good grief.
100. I wanged his channel good and proper, so we could wang yours. What's your YouTube?
I think it's just not low. I mean,
He doesn't even know what his YouTube account is
because
called.
I say I've only got my phone. I'm going to be losing my phone soon as well because I'm coming off the phone that I've got and the internet providers I've got.
Well, you can transfer the stuff off.
I should be able to transfer the stuff off, but it's because I just don't work it properly. And I haven't got much.
You need a computer at home.
I know. I need a computer that's mine. That's not the account.
Yeah.
So
One that you can actually basically just use to store stuff,
yeah.
and actually
So-
then you can manipulate pictures.
I will. It will get going again.
I mean, our house is full of them. I mean, we're up in the loft, and there's a proper desktop computer up here. A desktop computer. I love showing this off.
with floppy disk.
No, so old. Zip discs. Remember these, boys and girls? You probably didn't because they're a bit specialist. But you see there, this has come from EG&G Astrophysics in Long Beach, California, from my days when I worked as a researcher for an aviation journalist. So what they used to do before the internet was like decent, when people had dial-up modems, if they wanted to send a big file, so like high quality graphics for publishing, they had to physically post them on a zip disk, and these used to take up to 100 megabytes. And you can imagine back in the day, this would be like the mid-1990s, 100 megabyte JPEG file was actually quite a big thing. Even now JPEGs don't get that big. Because they used to just not compress them. Right, Bluegrass Rail Fan says, oops, sorry about not hitting the like button yet. And Hunts Heath Model Rail says they are $12.95 for 10 pairs. Yeah, no worries. So £12.95 for 10 pairs. So that's
5 coaches.
yeah. So that's
One at each end. Oh no,
well, no,
10 pairs. That's
a pair.
that's 10
A pair would basically be a coach. So that's 10 coaches. So yeah, that's pretty good value. Andrew and Adams Railway. Funniest thing is reading Harry Potter and swapping wand for wang. Hey, what are you like? Lakota Theoruf, I've started my semi-truck layout. Bluegrass Rail Fan, good to see you here. John A. Dawson, evening all. I'm surprised you are not using reel-to-reel tape instead of zip drives. No, that was the iAmega Ditto Dash tape backup drive, and I don't still have mine. It's a lot of computer hardware got binned a long time ago, but that computer that's down there is about 15 years old, and it just happens to still have my last remaining zip drive. I used to fit all my computers with them. But it just happens to be that it's camped out there. I used to use 5 1/4 inch floppy drives, and for a long time still had the drives.
The old bones have got to move.
Well, yeah,
again.
did the cupboard monkey give you a?
She's bought me a.
Oh, you've got a cushion. You're not going to sit on that.
I'm going to sit on that for
Going
now.
to sit on the croquet. Right. How are you? This is where Les has to go and look at something.
I'm just
no,
going. Okay, no, it's right. It's coffee. Thank
right.
you very much.
Are you wanting it minty
Coffee.
fresh? Is it minty fresh?
No.
It's just coffee.
I know,
nice
it's
coffee.
all right.
Me?
No, Les is being a good boy.
I'm always a good boy.
Yes, you are, even when
Yes.
you're being really naughty. Yes, we've broken Les out from the model making dungeon downstairs where we keep him under lock and key, cutting jab light with hot wire.
Oh, that was some time ago. I'm into
Je-
wire trees now, aren't I, at the moment?
Ooh.
Oops, what's happened?
No, just screensaver. The Zacco Loot Show says hello.
Hello,
Ian
Zacco
Ryan
Luke.
says good evening all from Peterlee. Whoa, Peterlee posse represent. Somebody said just gone off the top of the screen saying they started out with 8-inch floppies. Yeah, but you upgraded them to a hard drive. Wardle Road, Cupboard Monkey brought me a large chocolate bar during my visit. Yes, yes. I bet you enjoyed it actually on the drive south. We let Wardle Road keep the chocolate, and for the long drive south. I must admit, Ollie, you impressed me a lot by driving all the way up from North London. That is dedication to YouTube.
Worth the visit, though.
It's always nice to show off where you are, to be honest.
Yes.
But now you get to see it. I've actually gone to the trouble. We talked a little bit about it, but I've changed all the rolling stock. So we've got I don't know how much people can really see, but it's all steam locomotives, crimson and cream, and in fact let's get some other stuff running. So that's a Robinson 04 and
With a motor rail.
and this is actually you like the pictures that I posted, the Class 29
Yes.
from Daypole, which when we're talking about sleeper hits of the year, the Daypole Class 29
I'm just going over here to check this out, Jenny.
yeah, you just need to check that out off camera, and Mrs. Lescliffe, just I think you need to go and check on the kettle. This is lemon roulade, which is like cream, meringue,
Very
goodness.
nice.
Mm.
I can see another 20 lengths in the morning.
Yeah, you do that. Maria Hollyman says, hello Jenny and Les.
Hello.
Hi to you.
Hello.
Wardle Road says, we want 80 mineral wagons. It's going round now actually. And I tested the Hunt couplings. I thought, I wonder what would happen if I added them to the front wagons. So the two front wagons, I put one of those couplings between them, and it had no problem whatsoever with all that weight. In fact, when I added extra weight to the train, the locomotive stalled, and the Daypole Class 29 does weigh a lot. So to get that to stall is really difficult, and I managed to get the train to stall, and it still wouldn't pull that coupling apart.
So how many mineral wagons?
80 or so. That train, I think it counted them out at about 70 or something like that. I've got about 84 in total. Apparently it's getting dark over my shoulder. I'm going to risk turning the main light on.
There's a mistake over there.
Hmm?
One of the ones, the wagons are the wrong way around. My OCD with the white lines all going in the same
Yeah,
direction.
but you prefer to call it CDO because you like it in like it to be in alphabetical order. So the trouble when I turn that light on is it super saturates me, but you can see the model. In fact, I'm gonna.
Yes. Oh,
Is that better?
that's better. Yes, it's not
Or-
that glare at the back.
Okay, I'll turn that off. Yeah, well, if I turn any more lights on, we'll just disappear into this weird glare. Oh, excuse me. Wardle Rose says, Jenny, the journey home was loads quicker. I think everyone was scared of the weather. Yeah, I mean, 2 weekends now of really, really rubbish weather.
How
The
do
Growler
garden
Blackwood
railways
N-gauge layout says,
survive?
brilliant, can now see the layout. Sorry, what did you say?
So how do those with garden layouts survive this kind of stuff?
I just don't use it. My garden railway's covered under leaves and bits of plants and stuff. Talk to the good people so I can stuff my face.
All right. Well, I'll tell them what I've been working on recently.
Les is a genius at building stuff, so
I've been making wire trees and turning them into little dioramas like so.
I think that is amazing, that. And I love the way you've got the roots as well.
Well, I think that was one of the main things I wanted to do, because I know when you buy the plastic kits they have a tiny little bit of root system, but more often than not people just tend to poke the trees straight into the ground, which, all right, yeah, there are a lot of trees like that, but I think the roots systems and everything make more of an interest to the whole model.
Yeah.
And basically what I've got here, I went to Hobbycraft and I bought a roll of florist's wire. It was a £5 for a roll. Now I dare say you can get bigger, longer pieces, cheaper if you're shopping around on eBay and things like that. But I just wanted to have an experiment with making a tree. And I've been able to make 3 of them. I've got one back at home that's very similar to this, that's got an old derelict barn and a rusty vehicle and a tree swing on it and sheep and things eating the grass and everything. This one I may still put some more details on, but it's actually got little rabbits in the field there.
Well, where'd you get them from?
They're 3D printed. Again, it's some scale models, I think, or something like that. It was one of the.
Wasn't it Hardy Hobbies?
No, it wasn't Hardy Hobbies. No. So they are very, very tiny, and literally at the moment all I've done is give them a little bit of a brown paint because that's what I've got. But I think I'll lighten them up.
I do like the foliage.
Well, again, this is like a sort of a foliage that's on like a netting, and the better it looks if you can sort of spread it out so that it's not all clumped together. And then I've just sprinkled on the top with standard scenic scatter. And most of this is made up just on a cardboard base with some of the Gauge Master basic.
Yeah. And what's the flowers, or is that just?
It's just scenic scatter again. Just being careful not to have too many. Just wanted a few sort of daisies.
I just really like the roots. The roots work really well.
Well, to get to this stage, that takes about an hour. Well, it does for me anyway. And literally I cut about 40 lengths that's somewhere around about 40 to 50 centimeters long, 15, 16 inches, and then wound them all together. Well, I didn't wound, held them all together, and then sort of about 2 inches from the bottom, and then bent them all round so it was all held. And that bottom section would become what was used for making the roots, and then the rest makes the rest of the tree. And you basically just decide how many main branches you want of a tree, and some trees have only got 2 or 3, others have got 4, 5, 6, and the idea is to just split the wires at the top into bundles, keep twisting those so that you make them as a solid part to begin with, and then each time you've got more that you then got to separate off. And to get to the very fine edges at the end, sometimes I just bend them back on themselves, wind them, and then snip them so that you've then got lots of little pieces. And
I'm going to have to get you here and actually film a video with you doing this.
yeah, try and do one.
I mean, this is what I mean about Les's genius. If you can see there with all the roots and stuff and the foliage, you've got the moss on the tree. It is just amazing the lengths you go to get the detail. I mean, that just looks amazing.
It's not finished yet either.
Well, how long's gone into this from start to finish?
I would say about 4 hours.
So it's 4 hours work, but this is very much, this is the sort of tree that you have right at the front of your layout, almost like a centerpiece.
Yeah. And what I did to help with the bark, because obviously you've got this effect that's just wire wound round it, I just used the hot glue gun and went down it a number of times with the hot glue gun, pulled off the sort of the shreddy little bits, and then it paints up quite easily as well. Still need to sort of.
I've seen people use like latex glue.
I did try
glue.
latex. I bought some latex on the. It's not thick enough. It's very thin and watery.
Oh, can you not thicken it up?
I don't know.
What about if you took that and mixed a small amount of polyfiller powder into it to thicken it up, so that once you paint it on, I have a feeling actually that Model Maker's Handbook book
might show something.
Have a look in there and see what it says. I'm sure there's some techniques for doing this kind of tree.
Well, it's all been a learning curve, and it's it's still.
But I mean the effect. I'm going to bring that up again because I'm just really impressed
from
by
that to something like that.
Because I could see like that you would have right in the foreground as being like a talking point. Because you know, when you compare this to even like some of these trees, there's no contest. I mean, you can see it's just so much better.
And the thing with trees is there is no definitive height
I
that
love
you
the
need
bird
to
as
have
well.
to.
So
That,
it's like
I
a-
still need to paint that. That again was off eBay. You get about a pack of 10 of them for $1.99 from China. You have to wait
Yeah.
3 weeks for them to come, and
Yeah.
hopefully they haven't got avian flu or anything at the time.
But no, that's just amazing.
But trees are literally all sizes, so you know you can use. I think you've used O gauge scale trees.
No,
on-
I used 00 in O gauge.
in O gauge, so you can mix them because there isn't a no
Trees
one
come
tree
in
is the
all
same
sizes.
size. So they're not too big, but you can make smaller ones. And for this £5 roll that I bought, I've managed to make 3 armatures. I could have made probably 4 if I'd have made them a little bit smaller, or if I'd have made it slightly different tree. I wanted to have
But you've
like
got
an oak tree effect.
Yeah, but I mean that you've got what would be a very big tree,
Yeah.
and I just love that. I mean, I'm debating how much I can persuade you to do one for me, because that is really
Sort
impressive.
one out for you, certainly.
Yeah. I'm looking around thinking I want somewhere really prominent to put it, and I guess actually. Probably somewhere on that hill over there, more towards the foreground. But then,
Well, what I'm thinking about for your hill, you have to still do that to the backscape there
Yeah.
to blend the scenery behind the hill, because the eye line of the back of that is higher than what we could achieve down the side of Weir Yard.
Yeah.
We may need to make more of a forest on the hill to blend and
To
to
put more
disguise
yeah.
the sort of the slight difference in
well, I
eye
can
level.
do that. See, I can make a load of extra trees, and see, I quite like the actual. I was really pleased with how I'd done the landscape over in that
good.
corner. So I didn't want to put too many trees on, but certainly more towards like the far
Yeah.
end. I
Yeah.
can make up some more of the woodland scenic ones.
You could possibly have one of these feature trees maybe in the landscape here with the
I was
sheep.
thinking that actually.
Maybe just on the hillside there.
Yeah, well, actually, I was thinking more towards just down here a little
Right.
bit.
It'll be your decision. I'll get one made for you.
Actually, that one you've done there is just amazing. I really love it.
Well, you have that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You have that one.
Thank
Okay.
you.
It's up to you. I can paint that little bird up, or you can paint it up. So, and you've
Well,
got
it just as like a white dove.
Yeah.
It's not too bad as it is.
no. And it's,
Are
the
you
thing with
sure?
but yeah,
'Cause
the thing
I've
with
got
birds.
I've got all your rabbits now.
It's all right. I've got more. I've got about 80 of them.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Loads of rabbits. Once we've got
You only need 2, don't you?
The only thing I've got to do is how I integrate this. That's the other problem, because you built it on quite sturdy card. I'll have to have a think actually. I'm just wondering.
It is only hot glue gunned onto that.
I know, but yeah, look at that. He does a really good job of the scenery as well, and it seems an utter shame to waste even a small amount of this. I'm looking around for somewhere that I've got enough of an open flat space I can just sort of plant it as is. I reckon
I'm sure you will find somewhere.
I will have a jolly
Well,
good
that's
think.
yours.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Oh well, thank you very much.
Well, you've given me some couplings. You've
Oh,
done the DC fitting.
Brockwell Lane says florist wire from Hobbycraft.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But there is probably cheaper stuff. It was a silver coloured wire rather than the green, and it was on a roll. A lot of the other wire was just already in pre-cut pieces, which to me didn't look long enough for what I wanted to do. But by all means, look online. Maybe even try the DIY shop, see if there's any other wire. But I didn't find that was difficult to twist and bend, and it wasn't too sharp either. Working with bare fingers.
Right, it's just gone off the top, but Brian Mozza did say that, most people forget how big trees are. They can be up to 100 feet, and actually even the big ones on your model are probably only 30 to 40 feet. So actually, bigger is better in many respects. Gout Valley says, Dave Class 47 and Richard New Junction via Hornby magazine have reviewed the new Hunt couplings. I've bought a set to try my Mark II rate. have you had a set to review? Yes, if you'd have joined us at the start, you'd have seen I've just filmed a comparison test between these and other brands of couplings today. Excuse me, but spoiler alert, they do test incredibly well. And I do regard them as being the sleeper hit for gadgets of the year. This train coming around here, this is currently coupled together with them, so you can see I can separate them like that and then stick them back together. They really are a good thing.
The only thing that Jenny had decided was that if you're using them in a shunting situation, they won't.
I couldn't work out how you'd remote uncouple them. That's the only drawback, and it's really just a minor drawback actually.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stopping you from, like your fixed rakes, like your big rigs of coaches, you can have those sort of couplings, and then have a different set of couplings for when you want to shunt stuff.
Yeah.
Hello to Sparky 107. How's the shed coming along? Bluegrass rail fences. Yeah, there's some large trees out there. Flymo Chairman 1. Hello Les and Jenny. I'm late tonight. No notification. I wonder what I've pressed that I shouldn't have. It's probably YouTube. YouTube is useless at telling people. But yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. We've got 169 people viewing and only 76 likes. So boom, wang that like button, tickle it like you want it to giggle like a tickle me Elmo. Gareth Waite says hello to you both. How are you? I'm pretty good, thanks.
I'm pretty good, yes. Yeah.
And Leslie Gilpin, there are Bluegrass, but on a large layout you could achieve better perspective in my view using smaller ones. I think my biggest would be 40 feet in the foreground. Yeah, I would tend to favour smaller trees to the background because it's almost like a forced perspective thing. But you don't want too big a trees in the foreground because then you can't see the model.
I suppose it depends how the landscape slopes up and away from you.
Yeah. Josh A. Dawson says, I think Hunt Coupling should win New Product of the Year, even though it's still early in the year. I think certainly so far it's very much a contender. It's an amazing product, I have to say, and I've been very impressed by it. They also came with a packet of Haribo. I don't think you get the Haribo if you buy them off the website. But the cupboard monkey was like, oh, yes, please, I like Haribo. But no, as a product, they are brilliant. Oh, the cupboard monkey is going, yes, very nice, I could do with another one. Sparky 107 says the shed is being taken over by a helix. Now that is something that I toyed with doing up here. And I do kind of wish that I'd put a helix in, but I didn't. Wardle Road says, can I plug my interview, Jenny? Great to watch with a cuppa. Certainly, yes. Wardle Road did do an interview with me, so if you want to check that out.
Could you tell them where you wanted to put the helix from?
The helix would be to go down to the cupboard monkey's lair and we'd turf all of her muck out into the skip and fill that room with trains.
I'm so glad that you didn't.
I don't see any drawback with doing that.
I see many drawbacks.
Yeah.
Here's one.
Hello to Dragon Junction as well.
Here's another.
Fox Hill Railway banged it like a Canadian Rail fan. Evening, Jenny and Les. Just wondering, is there going to be season 3 of the Great Model Railway Challenge? You might know better than us, but so far I've heard nothing. I did ask Pat Doyle earlier this year, maybe probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and at that time he said, you know, negotiations were ongoing. FMR Station House, I am making a lot of pine trees right now and I'm gauging them between 60 to 100 feet. Yeah, I mean, my trees tend to be on the shorter side.
You like dwarf trees, so
No,
they
no,
don't
it's not that.
get in the way of your locals.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, it is. You just want to see all your trains going choo-choo.
But you see, more, I think the biggest trees that you can readily get in model form are the scale scenics ones. So if you get like the large horse chestnuts, I'm looking at one over there. You can't see it on the, you know, just by that boiler house there. That's about the biggest that you can just buy ready to plant. And a lot of the kits, like the scales, the woodland scenics kits, aren't that big. Yeah. So that method with the wire does let you.
And I have done nothing to compare it scale-wise. I just thought, right, that's going to look right. I haven't worried about how many feet in reality that would be. But
just if it looks right, it is right.
It's no taller than really the one that's over there,
Yeah,
I
that
suppose.
that
but,
one's probably about the same
yeah,
size as that
yeah.
horse chestnut.
But this one is more spread out and more
Yeah.
open.
But I mean, you could make some really tall ones and make
Yeah.
a real focal
Yeah.
point of them.
Well, I was walking around Entwistle Reservoir today, and there's some enormous pine trees there, and you got the first sort of 30-40 feet, there's hardly a branch on them, and then it's all up at the top. You just got little spindly bits coming out, and I'm thinking I might have to make a few of those because again, you are limited sometimes to what trees are available in kit form. And
Yeah.
sometimes some of them, I mean, we agree that the Hornby ones are quite good.
The scale, yeah, but you pay for them.
you
I
pay
mean,
for
you're
them.
looking at £15 to £20 for some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But let's just catch up on some of these comments. If I have missed your comment, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just obviously you all comment way quicker than I can comment. But ask your question again. Leave a little pause just in case. But once it's gone off the screen, if I haven't answered it and it's a pivotal question, do ask again. Bluegrass Rail fan. I think if I ever get around to starting an N-gauge lake based on the eastern US, I would probably use Oh, it's gone off the top of the screen. Barnabas Junction, good evening to you. Matty Radnell, there's a Series 3 of the Yorkshire Steam Railway. West Midlands train enthusiast, hi to you. John Carville, hi to you. Adams Railway, Ollie was building his team for GMRC during the premiere of his interview with you. Building his team. So has it been confirmed or not? Because when I spoke to Pat, it hadn't been confirmed. I do know that they did do auditions at getting team together at Worley, oh, that train's come off the track. You talk to the nice people.
Oh, your train's come off the track.
This one here.
Not the one with the couplings.
No, not the one with the couplings.
No.
It's always the same coach. I have no end of trouble, and I don't know what it is. I think it's possibly ever so slightly out of gauge. Doesn't do it every time, but just enough to be irritating.
Would it have the same effect if it was moved elsewhere in the rake?
Yeah, I've tried turning it round as well. J. Paul Anderson says they're sold as 000 packs. FMR station. Oh, they're coming off the top. I'm sure some of you are like, hey, let's make the comments move up really quick just to really
We'll be like
wind
Wallace and
Jenny
Gromit
up.
trying to chase to them.
Anfield Road layout in the Loft, hi to you. Canadian Railfare Jenny, after 6 months my 5-inch 14XX is complete. Right now to crack on with 12-foot long shunting layout. And that's quite big actually, that. So yeah, Wardle Road, I wish I could, I would love to go on the show though. Yeah, it's a great experience doing GMRC.
Yeah.
Would you do it again? Yes and no.
Possibly.
I had a love-hate relationship.
Yes, well, only...
But that was down to a particular person rather than the
It was something different. I mean, I'd probably be more inclined to do a big outdoor kind of challenge with railways again, first over and above GMRC, but I would never say never.
West Midlands train enthusiast asks, how much money is the Pico signal box? About £17. Gareth Waite, Barnabas Junction, Dragon Junction, how are you? Oh, sorry, you were talking to them. Bluegrass Rail fan, wish we get a show like GMRC in the States. We have a show on Fox about Lego, though they apparently destroy whatever they build later on. I do know that Ken Patterson, good old Sir Ken of Patterson, is desperately lobbying for a US version of GMRC, so do watch this space. It is getting shown in Sweden at the moment.
First series.
It is getting syndicated. Oh yeah, sorry, just give me Han bish bash bosh.
Wardle Road.
Oh yeah, I was talking about, I did the, plug away with the interview. I did an interview with Wardle Road, and see, he's done it again. So do check that out, but after the stream. So keep talking. Sorry, my underwear's. I'm sure my elastics.
Turning into a porn show, this.
What? No.
Why don't you actually remove that?
I can hear the cupboard monkey shouting, but I've got no idea what the cupboard monkey is saying. Well, this is the offending coach.
What happens if you stuck that onto the back of this one? that's going around quite happily because it's
I don't
got.
know. I suspect one of the wheels.
You got some muck on? Or?
No, I think it's out of gauge. It's really difficult to tell. But they're saying that that one's. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
How do you know? How do you set the gauge?
Pass. I've never done it. So I'm just gonna. Where can I put that? I'm gonna put that there for now. I'll sort that out later. But I suspect that it's slightly out of gauge. Right. Come on, get on the track, silly thing. Jonesy, Tyne and Weird Transport. Hi Jenny, how was you? I'm pretty good, thanks. And I did spot a comment. Somebody asked me what's my favourite steam locomotive. It's still the Brighton H1 Atlantic, which is up here somewhere. Oh, it's just out of reach over there. Which? The Bachmann Brighton H1 Atlantic in LBSC Burntumber.
This one?
Yeah, oh, no. I'll get it.
Okay. I pointed, picking the wrong one.
Yeah. They can be quite tricky. So, I've said it before, it featured in my best locomotives video, or my top 10 or something like that. But it's the Bachmann Brighton H1 Atlantic. That is my favourite locomotive. So yeah, even though Bachmann and I don't necessarily see eye to eye on a great many things, they do make some really good products. So let's put this on the track over here because I'm not leaning over to put it back. That there we are. That is in shot. But that's my favourite locomotive. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer, did you watch Sam's Trains video and see if Hornby's trains could haul a real passenger? Well, they can, because Hornby 00 already did that in the 1960s, and a Hornby 00 class 55, I think it was, hauled a real person on a specially made track. So old news, has been done before, set a record, yeah, they easily can, because the whole point of a train is it reduces the resistance. That's why trains are so successful and can haul such long trains, is because the resistance is much reduced. Game Hammer Classic Gamer says he's still doing stupid clickbait then. Yes. Gareth Wake, good to hear. Oh, sorry, there's a comment to something else. Wakefield Train Lad says she's a beauty, and that's the H1 Atlantic. Gosh, that is squealing a bit on the downhill, isn't it? Jonesy, Tyne and Weird Transport says, have you ever been to Alne Valley Railway in Northumberland? I haven't, no, but I did follow that project when they started online, so I did keep up with progress. That's the Alnmouth and the Alnwick line, although they can't get all the way to Alnwick because some person decided to put the A1 bypass straight through the track bed, so they'd need a big bridge to actually get across the road. Although there's a bookshop in the old railway station in Alnwick, which does make remarkable good use of the building, and it's a great place if you ever get to go and visit. Angus's Train says, hi Jenny, hi to you. Bluegrass Railfan, saw a photo recently of an O-gauge Norfolk and Western 611 hooked up to the real thing. Doubt it pulled it anywhere though. Although, was it Markland that did the thing where they pulled a real locomotive with a whole load of model ones? Do you remember that?
I saw it. That was diesel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember catching it on either on YouTube or somewhere, but I can't remember who it was. But yeah, there was dozens of tracks pulling this like-for-like locomotive that the models were made
I know that Hornby was quite keen to try and do something similar, but I'm guessing it hasn't panned out. Wakefield Train Lad says, my favourite is the A4 Pacific Deltix Collet Coaches LBS CE2s. Barnabas Junction, any plans to visit Crewe during 2020? Possibly, it all depends on time. I'm just so busy, it has to be said. Game Hammer Classic Gaming says, Alnwick is beautiful. Adams Railway, Zoe, if you ever make it there, I'll be happy to show you the model I run there. Adams Railway, oh, and Jenny too, of course. Kent Train Fan, hello, I just got back from the Sidings Hotel York. Excellent, I hear that is quite nice there. West Midlands train enthusiast, I'm back. Welcome back.
Where have you been?
What's it? Angus's trains. How's clickbaiting in the model run? Clickbaiting. How's clickbaiting in the model run? Not sure what you're trying to say there, Angus. I can't work out. I think it's a typo. Elton Loveridge. There was the Hamburg. That was the Hamburg Boys. Mark Wilson. Oh, I have to do the Memorial Sutton Coldfield accent for this one. Evening, my ducks. Bluegrass Rail fan.
I'm going to have to reinstate my Derbyshire accent if I move down there.
NNW 611 is a pretty good sized steam loco. Saw it in person about 3 years ago around Roanoke, Virginia. Is that VA, Virginia? I think it's Virginia. Those rail fan chases were insane. 250 plus people in some spots. Adams Railway, I live just south of Alnwick. Nice part of the world. It is actually.
It is, yeah,
really nice
yeah.
up there.
Do you know what's that's near Bamber as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And Rock, yeah.
FMR Station House said, did you say you would be at Ali Pali? Yes, we'll both be at Ali Pali. So
yes,
come and
yeah.
say hello.
In our Rail Riders Regala.
Yes, we're with the GMRC official Rail Riders War of the Worlds layout. So you'll be able to come and see that and marvel at how cheap and tacky it looks when you get up close.
We've got to repair quite a bit of it, haven't we?
Well,
not that much.
Some of the trees haven't taken kindly to transport.
Yeah. Just general wear and tear that happens with moving layouts about.
Ben Davis, thanks for doing a review on Class 29 and BR 2-tone green. As I got one from the train fair, it's the best diesel I've ever got. Yeah, I say that in the review as well. I regard it as so far being the train of 2020. It really is an amazing model. Jonesy, Tyne-and-Wear Transport. Have you ever been on a Tyne-and-Wear Metro? Have you seen the new design ones? Love the old stock better. It's been a long time since I've been up there. I've been out to Sunderland on the Tyne-and-Wear Metro. I used to go up to Gosforth a lot, and also the what's the covered station? It's going to bug me now. There's a station like where the depot is, and it's almost like a triangular junction. Oh,
somebody will tell you in a minute.
There used to be the chocolate train to Roundtrees went through there back in the 80s, and the Class 37 used to set the fire alarms off. Angus's train says, who is clickbaiting the model railway community? Sadly, Sam's Trains is putting out clickbaity content. What's it sadly? He gets the views, and good luck to him. He makes a living out of YouTube, and you really can't sniff at that. It's the Howard Stern of model railway videos. And if you don't know who Howard Stern is, do look him up.
Centre?
Regent Centre, that's the one.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Zoe Kirk Robinson, 174 watching, but only 103 likes. And 2 people who turned up to just say that they live rent-free, that I am living rent-free in their heads. So, hi Brian, how are you doing? Leslie Gilpin, I still think that the shed plate on the 29 is dodgy. All the images I could find look normal. I know what you mean, and it's one of those things, it's like when you pointed that out, thank you very much, I couldn't stop noticing it. But aside from that, the model is just great on so many levels. I really love that model. And in fact, you'll see it going round. It's at the head of the big coal train that's going around, all the 16-ton mineral wagons. You might see it intermittently in the background, as long as, if we keep still, and there's, I don't know, if we turn that light back on, you might see a little bit more, but that one gets
some more camera angles, really, couldn't you, in time?
How do you mean?
Different views so people could...
Oh yeah, well what we're planning on doing is, we did it last week with Wardle Road, showed the proof of concept with some webcams, and had them dotted around, and then you could chop and change between the views. And that's what we want to do, and unfortunately that computer is too oldie worldy to actually do it. Leslie Gilpin says, don't worry Jenny, it looks a fantastic model. Oh, well, thank you very much. I think somebody did ask a little while ago, I saw it, but you were talking, I didn't want to interrupt, asking was there any progress on Weir Yard, and yes there is. There is a progress video coming for this Friday, and I've been using a bunch of models. You may have seen some photographs floating around some of the Facebook groups, but there's the full video charting how I finished off the top of the hump area that's just off camera over here, so you can't see it, but look out for that in Friday's video. Eden Loveridge, have you got a Ruston 48DS, and if so, is there a good 6-pin DCC to fit it? There is one over there actually, that's yours waiting to be chipped. The 48DS Ruston,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
with the little match truck.
Yeah.
You have to use the Hornby pin because they use a non-standard pin outlet. You can hot wire it by taking out, I think it's 2 of the wires and swapping them, but it kind of negates the purpose. So you just have to watch out with that. I would recommend for trouble hassle-free, just buy the Hornby chip. But if you resent being made to buy a proprietary chip, which incidentally doesn't work in other 6-pin locomotives for that same reason, then you can hardwire any other 6-pin chip in. Well, you can hardwire an 8-pin in if you want, but there's only 4 of the pins actually getting used. So I'd actually be inclined, when they have stocks of them, to use the 4-pin chip and hardwire it, just because I'm contrary. Gamehammer Classic Gaming says she's working on the progress video with that signal box right now. Mark Rice, hi Jen, did you see the Hornby vlog about the rocket when he had the sample and then a good one, great vlog? Yeah, Mike Day does do some great videos. He's really done wonders for Hornby's YouTube channel. And it was an honour actually to be able to, he rang up the show when we did the Hornby and 2020 announcements, which was pretty good, and I got to interview him. Bish Bash Bosh. Gamehammer Classic Gamer says, Ian, you need to edit your yeah. Yes. Jonesy Tynemware Transport, do you like Class 91? Do you think it's sad they are I didn't know that they were scrapping the Class 91s. Although they're getting on a bit, it mustn't be overlooked. They date back to the late 80s, is it? Late 80s, early 90s? Yeah, late 80s. You're awfully quiet now. I'm very conscious that I...
No, it's all, I'm fine. I just struggle to read what's on there.
It is tricky, unless you've got your phone and you...
I haven't no...
No battery?
No, I just haven't brought it with
No phone?
no phone, no.
You're like my dad, he has a mobile phone and then he puts it in a drawer and leaves it
No,
there.
I'm on it a lot of the time, but I just didn't bring it with me tonight.
Ronald Morritt says, hi Jen, Les and Zoe, enjoying the chat. Ron, also known as Willenhall Parkway. Big hello to you. It's
Hello.
always great to have all these people on it. I always feel honoured that people like to come and hang out on the Jenny Monday Club.
What's on telly on a Monday night?
I don't know, I don't watch TV. Adrian Chesterton, good evening all. In case anyone didn't know, I saw a post that Kerno have a few Hornby 66s on sale for 55 squids. Yeah, I've seen some good prices on the Hornby 66s, and I must admit, I did ask Hornby about doing a review with them, because I was, even though, yeah, that is getting a bit squeaky, isn't it? It's because it's on the overrun coming down.
All right.
I think what I need to do is just...
It's a bit more welly.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
I didn't have a rest.
No, I'm going to turn it around the other way.
Oh. I was talking to that. I watched a programme, again the railway programme, a few weeks ago about one of the heritage railways where every 5 years they don't have a turntable, so they actually literally turn the engine round on a low loader for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, to even out the wear. Yeah, I've come across that before as well. They're a very expensive way of doing it. Just running that the other way. I think what I need to do is after this session I'm going to lubricate that up. Jonesy Tynemware Transport says, do you run a Stephenson's rocket locomotive? I will be doing when they come through from Hornby. I've got one on order.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you're thinking, oh, I'll have one of them,
No,
you can't. They're sold out everywhere.
No, I might just buy an Airfix one and just make a stationary diorama. Might have it running in front of an oak tree.
Ben Davis, something about the Hornby coronation, Princess Royal 100 Years of Hornby set is worth the money at £250. I suspect some of them are going to be worth quite a lot. The O-gauge ones certainly are. The Duchess of Atholl, the Stephenson's Rocket. I think that they probably will hold their own. But if you're looking to buy model railway stuff as an investment, there's probably a lot better things that you can invest money in. It has to be said. Ah, the cupboard monkey comes with technology. What are you doing?
If Les can't see the screen, plug this in.
Are you alright with us pinching your...
I'm editing your videos anyway.
We're pinching the cupboard monkey's connection to the hive mic. If actually, we'll just plug him in there.
And now the stream stops while Jen tries very desperately to grapple with technology.
Technology. Oh.
Yeah.
If you turn it that way, it'll...
Yeah, ignore the picture, otherwise you'd be like,
Alright, okay.
What's he
yeah.
saying?
Alright.
Technical monkey!
Yeah, so there you are.
And now you see how slow the response is.
Ian and Ryan, by the way, Jenny, I'm often rehearsing on Monday and Tuesday nights, so can you change the Jenny Monday Club to Wednesday? Keep the
I
name the
can't.
same. Don't think you can you?
I work on Wednesday, still
Yeah.
really late.
And
I don't
Monday's the
get
best
back
day
at-
for me to come as well.
And that's
So-
it. Monday was the reason I chose Monday was partly because it was one of my days off, and I got Tuesday off as well, so I can have a late night and it doesn't affect a school night. But also, nobody else was really doing anything on a Monday, and I didn't want to tread on anybody else's toes, so I decided that Monday was the best night to
She
do.
treads on my toes all the time, that's why my feet are flat.
Yeah, okay, Oh, you made me bite my finger. The cupboard monkey is very naughty.
Cupboard monkey is good. Cupboard monkey provides.
Garthion says hello, cupboard monkey.
Oh, Ian said he's only joking. We knew that, Ian.
Mark Wilson, Les, if Jenny has kidnapped you and will not let you out of the loft, just wink at the camera twice. Yeah. I think they've said this before. It was like just wink if you need us to call the police. Why do you think I kidnapped? I know he
Wink, 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 help!
Sorry, get back in your dungeon.
No use calling the police round here because it's my family that are the police, so...
Yeah, they go, it's alright, keep him. Ah dear. 57305 Northern Princess, hi to you. We had a brilliant open day at Worley Model Railway Club Rooms. I gave everyone a Class 57 Fest with 57312 in Virgin Trains livery and Pretendolino coaches. Actually, I think Kelly Harding, aka Kelly 827 or D827 Kelly, was there as well. So I've seen some of her pictures too.
Bluegrass Rail fan, Cupboard Monkey deserves a raise.
Or something. I think it's the or something. Yeah, she deserves a really good slap.
Don't give her ideas. She'll say, oh, Rays, I'll put you on the roof.
Garthian
she's
says, Cupboard Monkey. Garthian says, Cupboard Monkey is my favourite behind the scenes person of any YouTube channel.
She's
Thank
lovely.
you.
She's lovely.
She is actually, yeah.
Oh, stop it, you'll make my ego massive.
And Adam's Rower said, I bet Zoe wishes she was paid.
Yeah, but
Does she not
does.
pay you?
No. It's like she gets to work for me. Mark Wilson, Monday is great as it's something to look forward to. On a dismal day that starts the week. Funny enough, my week starts on a Wednesday.
Somerset Andy, get the Cupboard Monkey on screen. She's awesome.
Oh, she does flit around on screen. She was on screen earlier on. It's not like Jeeves from CBBC back in the day with Ed the Duck, where you only saw the hand. Flymo Chairman 1 says, call the constabulary. Warrington train spotter kidnapped and made to play with model trains. Oh, what a hardship. And fed pasta bake, roulade.
Going to make me another coffee.
I
I
went
was say it's no use calling the constabulary because one son-in-law is a sergeant in the Met, another son-in-law works for the NCA, my daughter works in modern-day slavery and is an investigating officer, so no point in calling any of the police because they just keep him.
Yeah, they say, no, don't bring him back. We're a Bluegrass Rail fan. My Mondays are usually pretty open. My schedule is a little different because I'm 5 hours behind. So I'm asleep most of the day, work late nights, try to make it here when I can, and you're always welcome. It's great to have so
welcome,
many
Rugas.
regulars, and don't forget to mash that like button, and also share this stream as well. Tell everybody you know to come on. Let's make this a really great community feel. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to do so, and you'll be most welcome, and you'll get to know about all the other great video content that we do. And we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Friday's video is an update on Weir Yard. I know a lot of you have been crying out for it. I spent a couple of weeks doing other things, and I think people are like, no, but we want to see an update. So we've got a big update coming up. I've been doing a few scenic bits and pieces. And then on top of that, we've got some reviews of another Daypole locomotive. We've got it's actually here, the Express Parcels DMU, and done that. And what else have I been doing? Oh yeah, full comparison and review of Hunt coupling, the new couplings that's been announced. You've probably seen loads of videos all over YouTube, so I've tried to do something a bit different with that. What else have we got? There's a Helgen Class 27 that I've got on my way, which I want to review for you, and a whole load of other stuff. Oh, and also I'm going to show you all, I've already filmed it so I know it all works, but I'm going to show you all my video on how to not just DCC fit a split chassis locomotive, but make it one of the most reliable locomotives in your fleet. So stay tuned for that. That's coming not this Friday, but next Friday as well. And let's have a look.
Garthian said, will either of you be ordering any Acroscale locos? I've ordered 2 sound-fitted Deltics and a sound-fitted Class 37.
I'm very much looking forward to the Class 55 in particular. So it'll be the Class 55 I think that I would go for. But I'd also love to check out the 37 as well. My only worry is, and it's one of the reasons that when the J94 stroke Hunslet Austerity came out from DJ Models, I steered clear of it because I was really worried. I've got quite a fleet of the Hornby Hunslet Austerities, and I thought I'd end up, like I had with my Bachmann Class 3, I ended up just getting rid of my entire fleet overnight and starting again because how much better the locomotive was. And I think the Class 25 is getting retooled by, is it Bachmann or Helgen? And I'm in two minds about that because, quite frankly, I've got about, I think it's about 14 Class 25s. And I really worry that it's going to put them to so much shame. Oh, don't leave the chocolate up here.
New Mills Model Railway. Has anyone tried to fit a decoder to the Bachmann Crab? It's a nightmare for me. 3 decoders later, and I'm no further on, and one of the coils next to the socket has come away.
Oh, is it a split chassis? Or is it? No, so it's got a socket. So what exactly is the problem? And incidentally, the circuit, if you're hard wiring, you don't need any of that circuit board. Literally all you need is the wires that come off your pickup and the contacts on your motor. Any other circuit boards that's in there, bin them if it's not got a socket on.
Have we got a date for Ali Pali? I think we did have, but I can't remember what
It's
it...
something like 21st of March, something like that.
Because somebody, Warrington Train Spotters are asking.
I think it's sort of like March, end of March time.
Right.
So look at this, everybody. The Cupboard Monkey has brought up a huge bar of Galaxy chocolate. Look at that. Ooh, yes. So do you like Galaxy chocolate?
No. I do, but no, I've had the roulage.
I'm going to have...
I'm being good.
You are. You're putting me to shame. I'm a fat waster, and you're just like... You've got the physique of a racing snake.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, how? Oh, Galaxy chocolate is good. Do you like that?
No, thank you. No. No. It's the 3rd week in March, Leslie Gilpin says. Paul Higgins, have you got a GWR, Jenny?
Oh, what?
A GWR?
GWR what?
It just says, have you got a GWR? I think he needs to clarify that a little bit more, because I'm sure you've got quite a few GWRs.
I've got a lot of GWR locomotives, you might have to narrow that down a bit. Mike O'Brien says, send me some please. I don't think it'll fit like, down the ADSL line. Somerset Andy says, Jenny, do the Trainomatic decoders work with the Hornby Select with the latest firmware? I see no reason why they wouldn't. I've found them to be super reliable, and I've not found a situation where they've had any kind of compatibility issues. That said, it's probably best to drop a line to tramfabrique.nl. They will have an email address on their website just to get in touch and just clarify that with them. But like I said, I found no compatibility issues whatsoever with them so far.
Waddle Road, Les, I'm going to have to interview you about your modelling skills. Well, yes, I'm up for that.
Yeah. Les is an amazing model maker, so
I'm good at some things. I'm still learning a lot.
Okay, but look, there's one of his. He's scratch built a tree. Look at the roots and everything. It's
a lot.
Okay, but look, there's one of his. He's scratch built a tree. Look at the roots and everything, and just look at how detailed all of that is. And it's just amazing. I love the moss on the tree as well. So all that moss and these roots are something special. So
that's only the second one I've made. To say this is the
what
third.
happened to the picture?
Oh, I don't know.
Has the picture gone weird
Oh, it's
for
come back.
anybody else?
It's come back.
How?
Must have been because I put it down there.
Oh,
So yeah, that was the second one I've made. This is the third one I'm working on.
So where's the first one?
The first one was the one I've got on my Facebook page of the old barn as well, with a rusty vehicle in it.
Ah,
and the
yes,
tree
you've
there.
made a diorama.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Eden Loveridge says, out of the big four, which one is your favoured one? I really don't know, actually. I don't really have a particular favourite of the big four. Now, if you asked me about pre-grouping, I would say that SECR, London, Brighton and South Coast Railway, and excuse me, Great Central Railway, or Lancashire and Yorkshire, London and North Western Railway, Caledonian, North British. I like them all. I really do.
Shiny, shiny.
Shiny, shiny, shiny.
I don't buy mini model trains.
Now, do you like that one?
Yes, I do.
I think they're sold out everywhere now. But it's
No, I say I've spent a few pennies recently.
a few pennies, you buy more than I do.
So, this, I think I've probably got as many boxes here.
Oh, Ham
as you've got.
Shackleton says, yes, it went weird, then reset itself. Flymo Chairman 1 says, there goes the neighbourhood, you're back. Ian Ryan, it went odd for me, I thought I was having a stroke there a moment. Interesting. So, what did you guys miss? Was the audio still coming through?
Paul's clarified it's a GWR rail car.
Oh, what this? GWR rail car, but I got it in the BR Express Parcels Crimson, so that would probably be Era 4. And yeah, I've just filmed a review on this today, so that's going to go out on Saturday. The Cupboard Monkey is doing that as we speak. Let's have a look. Ian Ryan says, shiny boots of leather. Ooh. Stuart Muir, oh, it's gone off the top. Where's it? Oh, I'm going to have to...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can't scroll on that really easily. Patrick Furlong says, audio still came through. You and Les just melted. We melted.
We melted. It's too much galaxy.
Matty Radnell says, where's the best shop to take old locos to? It depends what you want to do. If you want to trade them in, have them repaired. I don't know about getting repaired. Best thing to do is go into your local model shop and ask. Or ask around. Actually, get some feedback from things like Facebook groups, internet fora, that kind of thing.
I sent, I had, when I had DC trains, I had an Intercity 125 and it was making that horrible whirring sound and everything, and the motor needed to be rewound. Hornby don't do them, but a man called the Train Doctor, forget
Right.
where he's based, sent it off to him to repair and everything. It came back absolutely fine. I sold it for £45, which is what it cost me to have the motor done.
Oh, right.
The engine had cost me about £15, so I didn't make any money on it, but I would have kept it had I still been doing DC, but moving on to DCC it wasn't compatible to...
Well, they're saying that. I've started hardwiring a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is before I
before-
knew you in the way I do
yeah,
now.
so I can remember you asking somebody else to do it, and then they didn't do it, and they gave you some pretty shoddy advice.
Yes.
Anyway. Stuart Muir says, good evening, Jenny and Les. Yesterday,
Good evening.
I went to the Milton Keynes MRC Model Railway exhibition and came away with the second day pole class 50 in Network Southeast. That is a really quite a fine livery, actually. I do like the Network Southeast on the class 50, which...
Is that a modern image?
It's the late 80s.
Right.
So that would be this kind of livery. Let me try and slide this out. So there we go. You're going to go, oh, can you get me one of those? That's sound fitted as well. He likes that.
I think for me it's still probably too modern at the moment.
Ooh.
But I think my problem is I've got about 45 engines now. And
Is that all?
I know, but I can't see any of them working yet, so I think I need to stop
Well,
because I'm going to be entitled to buy ones I don't necessarily need. I'm going to get my little steam engine from over
Here we
here.
are, the class 50's firing up. Is that? There we are. Then it's on screen.
Oh. Oh. The Earl of St Germain. This is one that I've recently got, sound fitted.
I must admit, that's one that I really want. He has this habit of finding stuff that I really want.
You do the same with me.
Oh yeah, you say, oh, get me one of them.
I'll let you get it all out because you're more...
Do we know which, what it's set to?
I think it'll probably be 3, but you might
Probably.
need to...
So is it brand new? Let me just
yes.
clear some of these other locomotives
It's
off.
supposed to be brand new, this one.
So-
Or somebody, it was in their collection or their father's collection and it never been
so
used.
you bought it from a private buyer?
Yeah, private buyer.
Okay. Let me just move some of these out of the way. I'm going to have to move up.
Earl of St Germans.
Yeah, which is a strange name for a castle class. I thought they were all named after castles, but apparently not. Although St Germans, I'm sure that's down in Cornwall somewhere. Right, let's get this bad girl out of here. And it's certainly never had the detailing pack put in.
No.
Yeah, I really wanted one of these.
It's still got sort of the tissue.
Yeah. There we are. Oh, it's still got the new locomotive smell.
Like a new car.
Have a sniff of that.
Ooh, yes.
See what I mean?
Don't do that at home, boys and girls.
Oh, that is beautiful. So, it's a Hornby Castle class. This is, oh, there's a piece of, yeah, it's never been used. The foam's still there between them, as far as I can tell. Come on, you.
Just removing the contraceptive.
It's just the thing that protects it whilst it's in transit. Oh, that is beautiful. I really want one. So I'm going to assume it's on number 3. Okay, 3. It is on
It's on
3.
number 3. That sounds all right.
Yeah. That is a lovely locomotive. I really do want a castle class. At the very least, I might have to borrow it from you to do. I've got a video coming up. I want to do my extreme retro, old versus new.
I can leave it behind.
Oh.
Well, it's not. I can't play with it.
But I want to do an extreme old versus new, and Castle class is one of those that I want to do. I've got the old Hornby 00 model, but it's always been a case I've never quite got round to picking up a Castle. That is nice.
You can keep it in your stables for the time being.
Ooh. Right, let's have a look at. There's loads and loads of. Oh, Sparky 107 said that was a scary voice. My precious. I used to do voices on the radio for things like dramas and stuff, and comedy sketch shows. So I'm a girl of 1,000 voices, but I don't normally like people watching me when I put on a silly voice. I can do a lot of silly voices, but I feel very self-conscious if somebody's watching. Ah, dear. Right, I'm well behind on the comments. Patrick Furlong says, Jenny, how could you call Zoe a cupboard monkey? It wasn't me who came up with the name.
No, who did?
Can't remember. Somerset Andy, what do you both think?
It's a term of endearment, not an insult.
It is. Let's have a look. Stuart Muir also came away with the Train Tech level crossing module. Aha! I've seen pictures of those working, videos of those working. They do look interesting. Somerset Andy says, what do you both think of the Bachmann Class 158? I have no opinion in the matter. That's modern image stuff, that.
I don't do modern image,
yeah.
so...
Ham Shackleton says, you both look like a moosh painting for a mech. No, oh, I think we look like a Jackson Pollock, because we got that coming through as well. Oh, Munch. Yeah, Edward Munch. Yeah. Elton Loveridge says, I've got the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway loco, the 242. I've got two of them actually, both in Lancashire and Yorkshire livery.
Those are my little boxes over there, that little pile.
That pile over there is all yours. Oh. All yours. Do you not want to put it back in?
No, you can keep. Well, unless you want to put it back in, you can keep it on your leg.
I can play with it. Yes, I can definitely play with it. UK diesel and electric railway modelling. Hi there to you. We're well behind on the comments here, I have to say. So just bear with us. Mark Samways, young Jenny, what was the project you were planning? We were going to talk mostly about Les's projects, actually. The plan was, he brought his trees. We talked about his trees earlier on. So this is one of the little projects he's been working on, just working out how to do these fabulous trees made from twisted wire.
Well, the main projects I'm doing at the moment are anything that I can easily pack away, because all of the layout is in big sort of Tupperware boxes. Got about 60 boxes now in the lounge, all with stuff in, so no layout to play with. So I'm making little dioramas.
You not thought about making a small portable layout?
Problem is, there's no room at the house to do it.
Have you got a garage?
Yeah, but it's just full of junk and it's damp and all. But the garage, and like when we move house, if we do get a garage, I've still got to find somewhere to store all the railway stuff before we can put it in. But
so it could be like a year before.
It could be 12-18 months, because the shop sale is going through. It's a long process with it being a commercial property. Hopefully within the next 2 months that will all be signed and sealed, and then we start moving house, or we start to find a house to move to. But certainly by the end of the year we will have found hopefully somewhere to move, likely to be round Ashby, Derbyshire, that area, Burton-on-Trent, because my daughter is in the police down there, in the Derbyshire police. But then it's a case of whatever property we find, we're going to probably have to do things to it, and getting the house fit for purpose will be priority over and above the railway. But I've still got to be able to store all the stuff I've got, and I'll need a huge transit van, probably 2 transit vans, just to move all the railway stuff, let alone the house and everything.
Well, your licence will let you drive 7.5
Oh yeah,
ton.
yeah,
won't it?
7.5 ton. I could drive.
So you could hire a 7.5 tonner and just fill her.
Yeah.
Fill her up.
Fill her up. That's what I would do. But it's going to then be, you know, a year in, at least in building something. And if there's a garage that's got to all be waterproofed and damp proofed and everything else and security proofed, and I want a garage that's not just a standard, you know, 20 foot by 7 foot wide one. It's got to be probably a double garage.
Yeah, you're never going
or
to put a car in it, are you?
Well, no, but you need more than 7 foot. Well, I feel I need more than 7 foot in width for a layout.
Yeah, because I mean, this layout up here, by the standards of what you have for Not Lobia, is tiny.
Well, this is what I've always been spoiled. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get that. Well,
You might
I
get
am,
lucky.
in one way, because we have seen places, but the irony is that the places that we're seeing at the moment, although they're within budget, we can't proceed on them, and we've lost out on a couple. I say lost out.
When you say you can't proceed, is that because you're still
well,
waiting?
we're still waiting. We haven't got the security of the sale on the shop building, and that's got to be, you know, promo bodo, sort of fixed in concrete, as it were, before we risk anything. But it will happen. But it does mean that with having no railway, no layout to work with, all I can do is preparation for the future. So at the moment I'm also weathering a lot of track. I'm probably up to about 500 feet of track, painting both sides and cleaning it down and everything. And I'm quite pleased with the effect that that's doing, but then I've still got to design a layout
Yeah,
and build the boards and everything
what I would
else.
suggest to you is to make it as operationally as interesting
Yes,
as
that's what
possible in terms of different levels, and also try and get it so you can run quite a lot of trains at
Yes,
the same time.
I want at least 4 tracks.
I would say, and it's something from my experience, originally when I had Trinity Road out in the shed, you could run 2 trains at once. And I quickly outgrew that. So when I did this up here, I decided I'd have 4 trains at once. And now I've got 4 trains at once. I find myself kicking myself for not actually making it so I could run 5 or 6.
Well,
And you could easily actually, 5 would be very doable. The bottleneck is from the junction there, just round to over there. If I'd have put a 4th track round there at the bottom, I could have run 5 trains at once, and I kick myself for not doing it.
well, my ideal plan, what I want Not Lobia and Gardenia, which is the sort of the next stage of Not Lobia, and why it's called Gardenia is because it would be going into the garden as well. And the idea would be to have an indoor layout, tail chasing and end-to-end combined, and a section that goes to a seaside, basically, where I will have a port, and then that would then have the sea, which would just be open space for the majority of it, and then on the other side would be another station that comes in from the garden but comes into the shed or the garage, and then that will be a separate layout, although technically it kind of links in. And then with the 009 gauge that I had on Not Lobia that was wee-wowing all the way through the mountains, I'm thinking on that, I'm going to have to do levels, shelf levels, in whatever room I get, would be to have the narrow gauge come into one particular point on the main layout, one of the stations, maybe the harbour or something like that, but then it would be taken off and go up into its own separate kind of layout. I'll probably have to build some kind of
So you're going to use that shuttle loop, so it go out and back.
Yeah, something like that. And then for the garden railway itself, obviously I just want to have like a double track that would go up around the flower beds, round to the greenhouse, say hello to my wife on the way around, and come back in. So it would just be a big long running track. Maybe the odd signal box, but no specific models out there.
Out in the country, in the garden, it's a bit trickier. That said, I forget who it is. Somebody Jones. I want to say Richard Jones. He does a lot of stuff for it's either BRM or a model rail, and he has a garden layout in 00, and it is fabulous. And he uses a lot of those Scenecraft and the Scaledale buildings because they actually do hold up quite well outdoors. And he makes it fully scenic, but then he also uses a lot of plant life and stuff to enhance it. And that works really well. His model railway is amazing.
I think that's what my wife would let me do, because she wants to to get involved with more gardening. We've got a nice garden now. So providing it could be integrated into the flower beds and the pathways and everything else, I'd love to have well, I've got a pond now, but you know, wherever we move to, I would like to have a pond and maybe a stream that we could have a girder bridge going across. So I've got lots of ideas up here, what I would like things to happen, but at the moment, until we find a place, then I'm sort of restricted to doing the little things I do, and then coming round to Jenny's and watching her trains go by and letting her use my engine. So you know, and she's helping me out in a great way with the DCC chipping.
It was easy enough. I quite enjoy doing it. I mean, with some of the locomotives it can be a real pain in the neck, but others it's just like quite pleasing to be able to work out how to fit it in and then get it all to work is quite satisfying. But let's have a look at some of the comments. I need to pass that back to you. You're going to have to scroll down.
Right,
Let me
scroll down that way.
No, other way.
Other way. Right.
The other down.
The other down. The other left.
Right, let's have a look.
Do you think we should do more model railways for people with learning difficulties?
I don't necessarily think specifically. I'm not sure how you would do that, but certainly it's a very good creative output. And I think in terms of helping people with learning difficulties, making models is one way that you can do that. West Midlands Train Enthusiast, does anybody watch Budget Model Railways? I am aware of that channel. Bluegrass Railfan, listening to the CSX detectors round here. Always listen to how long the trains are. Most hit the mile part easily. Some trains are 2 miles in length.
Warrington Train Spotters. Les, are you just a kettle man on your way out? What does he mean by that? Because I keep drinking cups of coffee.
No kettle, steam engine.
Oh, right.
No,
so
you've got, because I did a class 17 for you.
Yeah, I have got diesels. I would say probably...
You've got a 25 as well,
yeah,
because I sold you a 25.
I've got a Deltic. Yeah, I've got quite a few, but probably more kettles.
Yeah, as I was saying that, I mean, I've got more steam locomotives than I've got diesel locos, it has to be said. When I look up there, it's like, gosh, I do as well. Bluegrass Rail Fan says, are defect detectors a thing in the UK? We certainly have hot axle box detectors, so yeah, I guess they are a thing. David Scott says, just stripping a 16-foot by 6-foot home layout down. House moving downsize with nowhere to put it. Oh, you can sympathise with that.
Yes, yes.
UK diesel and electric railway modelling. Split chassis models are difficult to hardwire, but the others are easy. And in fact, as I said earlier on, I've got a video coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday. It's a how-to guide to DCC fitting split chassis locomotives, and not just making them work on DCC, but make them one of your best performing locomotives. How did I do that? Well, you'll have to watch that video when it comes out. I actually did it in conjunction with Train-O-Matic, using one of their 8-pin decoders and the Smart Power Pack, which is a programmable stay alive type thing. And actually it works incredibly well. I'm really pleased.
And you're going to do one for me when you order mine?
Oh no, that was for the pug.
Oh,
because that was the other project. That's just gone out last Friday. So I've got, if I put that on there, 5122. Go 5122. Did you get your paracetamol in the end?
No, it's gone.
How's it? So that's got the stay alive in, and people at home can't see that now. So let's put that on there, and let's just have that go around, and you can see that. I mean, when you think it's not a DCC ready locomotive, you'll see it. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. That's actually pretty impressive, isn't it? And you. Oh wait a minute, no, it's going the wrong way. Crash! Unfortunately so. I sent it the wrong way.
No little people were harmed in the making of this show.
Yeah, ooh, come here you.
But if you've been affected, then there's a number to ring at the end of the programme.
So there we go. But that's with the Train-O-Matic Smart Power Pack and stuff. In fact, I'll give you a little teaser for next week. You're going to have to let me out here a
Okay.
bit. Oh, ow. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Where are you? My little class 4 shunter. I think it's there. So,
Ham Shackleton was saying, I did ask if anyone has had their new rocket yet, but there was no serious response, so I guess no.
I haven't had mine. I've got mine on order, and when I checked in with Rails of Sheffield, and there's no sign of them there. They've not had them in, as far as I'm aware, as far as they've told me. So, as it stands, I would say no. And whoever gets it first will have a review video banged up on YouTube in no time at all. So, they're not out yet. Oh, why is that moving on its own? So, Loco 2267. So, this here is a split chassis Bachmann locomotive fitted with a smart power pack. So let's just so you can see there the wheels still moving round. Do you see that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Quite impressive.
Magic.
Yeah. So
I like that, and it's not shiny, it's dirty, but it's
yeah.
it's
Oh,
lovely.
actually, we've now got 3 locomotives all chasing each other. It's like the Great St. Trinian train robbery here.
Leslie Galpin, room size is always a problem when you are moving a large layout. I've been looking at properties too with room for a large layout. Yeah, sort of criteria is either somewhere that's got a large bedroom or a double garage, preferably in width. Although
Yes.
I have seen some, I think they call them, there's another name for garages where there's like one behind the other in length. And also 1 or 2 places that have got lofts as well, because again a loft is an ideal.
Never overlook a loft.
The only drawback from my point of view, I'm 20 odd years older than you, and my knees and climbing up and down, you know, 64 now.
You're
I'm
not
probably
getting
gonna,
any younger,
no,
so
I'm probably going to be 66.
you have to put a stand of stair lift it.
Yeah.
There you see, that's a split chassis loco. Look how nice that
Yes.
runs. So that will be the project for not this Friday but next Friday in conjunction with Train-O-Matic. So look forward to that. If you've got beloved split chassis locos that you don't know what to do with, then I have the answer for DCC fitting. So it's coming round now.
I'm sorry, I'm going to block the camera again.
Are you?
Guys,
No, you're
oh,
not.
with
You're okay.
my physique,
Are you okay?
my bulk.
Maybe
Yes.
I should swap chairs with you because mine's quite comfy.
No, it's your queen of the castle, it's your chair.
Who's queen?
Ian Ryan, 500 foot of track, wow.
So there you are, you see it still going round. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Stop.
I say it's an estimate because I've done at least 60 odd points and loads of curves and tracks and you know, great big long sort of double.
See, personally, I would colour the rail sides in situ.
I know that's probably
you're just like
I'm
eager
just
beaver.
I'm trying to be
Is it eager
proactive,
beaver?
yes, and I know that I'm going to have to do some work when I do sort of join the track in terms of making sure the connections are right, but I don't mind. At least I haven't then got to worry about painting all of the track, and I can scrape away because it's only water-based paint and it's taken quite well, and
Yeah.
it's quite good using acrylics.
You're not going to get problems when you ballast with it washing off.
No, because it's quite dry and cruddy looking.
Right.
You know, it's a nice sort of matte finish. It's not too watery or anything like that. And with a cocktail stick, you know, or cotton bud, yes, I can scrape back to the bare metal. Hopefully I won't, but again, it's a learning curve. If things go tits up, excuse the French, then I have to put it right. But I'm about probably halfway through all the track I've got to do, and I know I've got some track waiting for me at Ali Pali, hopefully some points, and Pico track from friends that are going down there. But I need to make sure I've got enough.
West Hill Wagon Works says, I love the 03 and wish they would retool the 04. Well, as you just saw, you can,
Right.
you can make a Bachmann Class 4 shunter. You pick them up quite cheap second hand, but I'll be showing you how to actually make them fully DCC ready and also fitting that smart power pack in as well. So they run really well.
I know something I wanted to ask you about the power controller that we've got.
Yeah, because you've got the same one as me.
Very same, yes.
Yeah.
With a long layout, I mean, it's convenient here. You've got one sort of control section for everything, but on another layout, probably more like mine, I might find it difficult to have just one section where it's all.
Oh, you can have jack points where you just plug this in to like a jack panel around the layout. You can do that.
You can just buy those from Gauge Master. Have they got?
I believe so, yeah. And actually, it's something that, even though you say I've got this lovely central control position, sometimes it would be nice. I could do with one over there and one over here, because you've only got so much cable.
Yeah. You see, I'm going to have various sort of key sections on the layout. I'm going to have a big station, which I will still keep. I'm still going to keep the name Not Lobia, even though it won't be in Bolton anymore. It will be elsewhere because it's synonymous with a lot of my modelling. But there will be other stations that become sort of features in it on other sections. But I'll have a port area where I would need to be able to work the trains there, and then the main station and a diesel and an engine shed section. So I was just wondering how you move these control panels around. So these jack points, is it just like sort of telephone cables? Yeah, it's like a telephone socket.
Oh, well, the other end of it, well, it's the same as, it's basically one of those.
Yeah.
And see, when you unplug it, the layout keeps running. And then when we plug this back in,
So
there it all is
basically
again.
going into the main controller, you would probably need a multi-socket, and then they can unplug that out and go around. Figure it out, but
You have like a jack panel.
Yeah.
The other end of this cable, I'm not fishing about for it.
No.
You'd just be able to unplug it and then plug it in. It'd be like almost like a phone jack.
Yeah,
in the wall.
yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's cool.
So, although it's just forgotten all of my settings.
Oh dear, sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Right, what's let's have a look. Ham Shackleton says, looking for... Oh, it's gone off the screen! So, sorry, Ham Shackleton.
What was it?
I don't know. Ian Ryan says, we have goldfinches too, they're stunning. Gout Valley says, signs on l'air. Excuse my French. Oh, right. Yeah. UK Diesel and Electric Railway Modelling. I use the Lens 100 system, which has a 5-pin DIN plug at the end of the cable. That's actually pretty good. Much more durable than these jack plugs. When I build my layout, I'll have DIN sockets around the layout so I can stand wherever I want. It's on the list actually for up here, because you don't get a very long cable with this. So, you know, if I take it to there, that's me at the end of the cable. So I would like to have a couple of jack points around the layout, but it's on the list. It is.
You've got the jack boots, but not the jack points.
Yeah, it's going on the list. Jeff Redmond, Jumble Lane Model Railway, go for a wireless controller. I have seen systems where you just have like an old household wireless router, and you can control the system through smartphones. You have like an app on your smartphone. And I think that's a great idea, and that is something that I again will look into. I don't know how compatible that system would be with the Gauge Master. I meant to do that, honest. I'm on Pepsi to the max.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Jenny,
Whilst
do you
you're
have
here,
a
take the chocolate
Hatton
away.
66?
I do not have a Hatton 66. I did review the Hatton 66 and it was a very special locomotive.
Not difference, just special.
No, it was a great locomotive.
No,
They didn't let me keep it though. They didn't let anybody who reviewed them keep it because they were pre-production models.
Yeah, they kind of wanted their prototypes back, didn't
They
they?
did, yes. So it's really, really good. But
Jenny?
66 is not my thing.
Why have you got people hanging from your layout?
Well, there's somewhere to put them.
Leslie Galpin says it will be compatible.
Will it?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Digitrack wireless system.
You can't see it, guys, but
Yes, you can.
Jenny has people
I have.
hanging. She's hung
I
some
have
people. She's hanged them.
prostitutes. Wasn't bought by me. They're N-gauge, which is why they're not on the
Would
layout.
that help to show people the layout briefly? Moving it
We're
around?
kind of tethered a bit here, but why is somebody saying they
No,
want
no,
a
I'm
different
just wondering.
angle?
Although
A bit more of a shot of the.
you
worker.
claim that you don't have naughty people on your layout, Jenny, but
Oh, you know where there is one, don't you?
who's that down there?
Oh, is that naughty Santa's helper?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just.
I
waiting.
think that was on screen.
Oh, hold on, it's on a delay, so I get to watch it now. What did you show? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you just briefly showed it on screen.
Possibly.
I'll be back says evening 3 rail here again. Ross says love all the details. Oh gosh, I've gone really way back. Richard Lewis says Simon Kohler for a knighthood. Possibly. Somerset Andy, got to go now. Thanks for another good one. You're more than welcome. It's been great to have you on.
Speaking of knighthoods, Jenny, didn't you invent your own country as a kind
I
of joke?
did, yes.
You
well,
could give a knighthood to Simon Kohler.
Actually, that's a really good point. Maybe when we go to Ali Pali, I will make Simon Kohler a knight of Genitopia. How does that grab you guys? Leslie Gilpin, she's been waiting a long time behind that post, Zoe.
Yes, she has. Not much business round the back of there.
The charge is too much.
Someone say, where was it?
Brockwell Lane says, I need those figures for my N-gauge red light district. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a swap. I will swap 00 figures for N-gauge ones. I've actually got another set of N-gauge figures somewhere as well. People buy me these things, not actually understanding the subtleties of scale. So we'll do a swap, Brockwell Lane, if you're after the ladies of the night.
As horse will travel.
Yeah. Oh, Combat Bunny says, nice to see different angles. So more than welcome. You're showing away all the secrets. People have just seen the what's the update for next.
That'd be Alex.
Hello, Zoe.
Ian Ryan says, what's on your t-shirt, Zoe? It looks cool. It's a mermaid. And I couldn't tell you where I got it from because I think it was Kathmandu in Newcastle upon Tyne in about 1997.
Yeah, it was from. Was it
I
Kathmandu?
tend not to throw things away.
I know. They just,
Also, when I first got it, it was baggy on me, and now it kind of fits.
yeah.
What's your name in it, Jenny? Got room
Rob
here.
K says, Jenny, do you have? You have to look at the DigiKeys DR5000. With that system, you can control your layout via smartphone, PC, Roku mouse, and much more.
Yeah, we do need to have a look into
I think
that.
actually that is a really good idea.
So you've got the flag flying now, Jenny?
Yes, yeah. But Ben Man 1 says, hi Jenny, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. I don't know whether you can hear me because I'm over here behind.
Just talk, speak louder.
Yeah. Ian Ryan says, cool, love the colour. Oh, that's your T-shirt.
Yeah. Right, I'm taking my big fat bum back.
Yeah, take
back
the
to
chocolate
my
away.
thing. See you later.
Warrington Train Spotter says, Zoe, have you done any stand-up comedy lately?
Not lately. Jen has made me edit her videos for so long that I haven't had a chance. I want to take my routine on the road, but she won't let me have any time off.
But Ben Man 1 says, hi Jenny, have you heard of the traction engine Victoria, Empress of India? Not familiar with that one, I have to say. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I've seen a couple of layouts with amazing scenes involving a hotel fire and car accidents. I've not seen a hustler getting hustled by the police yet, though. Ian Ryan says, Zoe, there is a great Far Eastern t-shirt jumper stall in Granger Market. Ham Shackleton says, how is Zoe's Underground Railway coming along? It isn't, it has to be said.
She hasn't given me time to do it.
Can you guys hear me on the live stream properly? I'm worried that maybe the microphone isn't quite picking me up. Bluegrass Rail fan, absolutely true. Sometimes you have to see a layout a few times to catch all of the details. Ian Ryan, they even have tie-dye in Fat Guy's house for me. Oh, don't be so cruel to yourself. Bluegrass Rail fan. Oh, so I missed one out there. 57305 Northern Princess. Any news on the pain Zoe had? She's got a follow-up appointment with the doctor, but it's believed to not be anything too serious.
It's easy enough to just explain what it is. Right, guys, the pain is it's a benign lump, and it's pushing on a nerve. That's why I'm in pain. But it's not life-threatening. It's not going to cause any problems, and soon enough it'll go away. So they're going to cut it out. So yeah. So then I won't have any excuse for being so fat.
Yeah. Somebody asks me, have I got a GWR, a Hornby GWR King? Yes, I do. In fact, show the lucky punters my shelving full of stuff.
Your stoof shelves.
My stoofs.
Right,
Ian Ryan says, glad to hear you're okay, Zoe. Thank you very much.
You.
Gout Valley says, those hump couplers look good on that rate. Yeah, as I said before, it is amazing. So you're seeing on the stream, I know that basically it's going at a couple of seconds delay. Les is showing you all of the trains up there. Just you can see the spare locomotives, and there's a cabinet up there as well. You can show them all of those. So there we are, showing off my collection just a little bit. But you'll see in there's like a GW King and all sorts. James Carroll says, hello Zoe and Jenny, will you be running any trains today? You're not seeing the ones going round. Yeah, Bluegrass Rail fan, you've got my sentence. I tell people I'm in shape, round as a shape. Robert Scott, Within Model Railway says, do you know if the hunt couplers are suitable for Lima stock? I think it has to have a NEM pocket to work. That's the criteria. So I would suspect that probably not. Flymo Chairman 1, Bluegrass Rail fan, I was reading about the Rockville crash today. I've never seen gauntleting like that before. Ah, I'm presuming you're talking about gauntlet track. There's actually some really quite nice angles of the layout. Because we haven't had a trains running video for quite some time. I have been putting together a load of footage to do just that, but actually let's, if we're going to be showing the layout, I'm going to turn some extra lights on, so hopefully that extra light will just improve things a little bit. 57305 Northern Princess says, what are the two Metropolitan Railway Bobos? They're the Helgen Metrovic Bobos, and they are actually really good locomotives. They can be a little bit fragile on detail, but I do like them. Steam UK says, do you have the Hornby King? Yes, I do. Oh, so I've already read that comment. West Hill Wagon Works is answering that. Catering for non-NEM screw fit coming. So yeah, whoever was asking about the hunt couplings working on older wagons, that facility is coming. Anfield Road layout in the Loft says, looks good, Jenny, thank you very much. Bluegrass Rail fan says it's a chopper cam. Okay, let's just swap sides.
Okay.
Oh, matron. So he said not good but adequate audio, so I'm going to have to try and keep fairly close to wherever he's got the camera. Finneton Central Model Railway, check out the West Hill Wagon Works website. Certainly that's a great idea. Do that after the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button, and also, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. It's always great to have people, newcomers to the channel. McBentman1, thoughts on the coronavirus? I think it's a serious thing if you get it, but the chances of getting it are far less than getting flu, and actually the numbers are such that you should probably be far more worried about the flu virus than about the coronavirus. Flymo Chairman 1 says, quite a tour, what a layout and collection, Jenny. Thank you very much. West Hill Wagon Works, we will also be catering for most coupling types and N-gauge coming as well in the near future. And just to let everybody know that there will be a link from the video that I'm putting up, which is going up on Wednesday, which you can follow to get your own couplings, but at the moment obviously that's not around, and it's an affiliate link, so it does help out the channel but doesn't cost you any extra to follow it. Adrian Bartlett, hi West Hill Wagon Works, will the new couplings be available in O gauge eventually? Now that is a great thought. Ian Ryan says, love the prototype Deltic. I didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me. Yeah, I must admit, the prototype Deltic really is a superb model. Just down a little bit less.
I can't see what I'm filming.
Yeah, I'm just looking on the screen here.
I'll come back to base now, I think.
Yeah, we've had a
good look round.
So essentially, there you are. You've had an impromptu. I'll just turn these lights back off.
Helicopters coming back into land.
So I just turn those lights off because they super saturate us when we stand here. Hold on.
Hold on.
Oh,
have a quick grope.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you are firm and ripped.
So where's the big X to land?
Somewhere there would do. Yeah, just about there. We've got a bit of a jaunty angle going. Don't worry, I'll fix that.
Can you fix that?
I'll fix the jaunty angle. Oh, yeah, mind your step. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that helped some people.
Oh, what have you done? Oh, right, so I thought... There we go.
No, I've shrunk.
Honey, I shrunk the les. But, right. Just a Dutch tilt. Well, it's better. It could be a Dutch oven. Finneton Central Model Railway says, I do like the wagon yard. Thank you very much.
You've not got very many wagons, have you?
Leslie Gilpin says, what delay do you get on your live stream? Well, if I'm gonna... That's what I'm currently seeing. I don't know whether you can see that. So, it's probably not the...
About 5 seconds.
So, that's what I'm currently seeing. So, I just wave the phone, wait, and then... It's actually quite a delay, isn't it? Where's that wave? I've just done a wave. There's the wave. So, there's actually about a 6, 7, maybe even 10-second delay. So,
it's weird watching the camera there and answering the script on there and thinking, well, I'm not doing that.
Mad About Steam says, hi Jenny, I just subbed. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. So what do you do here? Well, we do all sorts. We have the Jenny Monday Club. I'll give that to you so you can read the comments.
We have the Let's Sit Down on the Floor Monday Club.
Do you want to swap chairs?
No.
This is comfy.
No, it's your chair. You're in...
On this channel, things we do. Right, trains going by videos happen intermittently. A lot of product reviews, but also how-to guides showing you how to do things as diverse as making trees, ballasting track, electrical side of things, including DCC fitting, including really awkward to fit non-DCC ready locomotives, Also doing progress and update videos on Weir Yard up here in the loft, and we go out and visit and interview people as well. We've done a lot of interviews, including we've had Scott Rhodes, I've had Michael Day from Hornby. Scott Rhodes, by the way, if you don't know, is from Oxford Rail. I've done interviews with model shop owners, full access all area tours of Hattons, done the same for rails, visiting railways. It's a real mix of different stuff. Some historical walks as well, following old railways. So it's the one-stop shop for all manner of things.
I must have been all right doing that film because James Carroll wants to know what make of drone I am.
It's the Les Cliff 2000 drone.
Yes.
I'll let you do read out some of the comments because my mouth is getting tired.
Leslie Gilpin says, I think the time delay is about 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds sounds about right. So you saw there when you were like watching me, watching you. Yeah, it was about 10 seconds from when I actually waved the phone to when I saw it wave on the screen.
West Hill Wagon says, live streaming on Facebook is worse. Every viewer has different lag times, up to 30 seconds for some.
Really? Gosh. I've never really done live streams on Facebook. It's not my favourite thing. I kind of found a thing with YouTube, but I do understand it's very hard for new channels to kind of gain traction, so I can see why people might turn to Facebook. It does seem to be easier to build an audience on Facebook, but it does have its limitations. For a start, I don't think you can monetize it.
Flying Mode Chairman says, Jenny, do you have an inventory and do you add to them as you get them?
No, I really should. The only thing I've got is an Excel spreadsheet where I log DCC numbers on stuff. But yeah, I really should have a spreadsheet, but to do one now would be such a mammoth task, it puts me off. But yes, I really should get around to doing that.
Brockwell Lane, I think figure manufacturers are missing a trick or two. How about a pack of Vickers, Father Ted, Home Guard, Dad's Army, Only Fools and Horses, etc.?
I think there might be likeness rights that
Yeah.
you'd have to do, but yeah, I could see a Father Ted set doing well, because you'd have, who would you have? You'd have Dougal, Father Ted, Father Jack, Mrs. Doyle, Bishop Brennan, and who would be your other figure?
I'm sure. I'm not familiar with Father Ted.
Are you? What?
I've heard of it, but I've not watched the series.
Young Les, you need to watch.
I've not been
Father-
educated.
Father
I think
Ted.
we've seen the odd episode.
Father Ted.
Yeah.
Ah, fathers. No, you should. It's really funny. I enjoy it. Although, turns out that Graham Linehan, who writes it, is an absolute bigot. But it doesn't take away from the fact that actually Father Ted's really funny.
Ben-Man 1, thoughts on the P2 steam locomotive?
On the what? So the P2 steam. It's an interesting model. It seems to be really hard to get the full fat version, but the railroad version is pretty common.
What's the one that
You've got the railroad version of it. So you've got the, sat over there in the box is the railroad version of the P2. I would love to get the all singing, all dancing
Cock of the
one.
North, isn't it? That
Yes.
one,
Cock of the North. But they seem few and far between and very expensive when you do find them. But I think it's a good model. It's a good value for money, especially the railroad version. Natalie Porter says, I would love a Railway Children character set. I don't know whether, I know Bachman did the Railway Children set, but I don't know, I don't think they included a pack of figures with it. Certainly with the World War I ambulance set and also the Midland Pullman, they did have bespoke sets of figures that were available to buy separately. Excuse me, for both of those, but I don't think they did them for the Railway Children set, which I think with hindsight would have been really good, because you could have had Jenny Agutter waving her red knickers.
But Ben-Man said he meant the full version of the P2, not the model.
Oh, the new build.
Flymo Chairman, P2 loco. Is there two being built still?
I know that there's definitely one. I think it's the A1 Trust went on to build a P2 straight afterwards. So there's at least one that I know about. I'm just trying to... How have we... Let me just untangle us there.
Welcome back, West Main West Midlands train enthusiast.
Hello to you.
His phone had
Phone
died.
battery. Oh no. Donegal dad, feathered-haired Irish narrow gauge said, "Ah, tiddly-dee, sweet Jesus, Mother of Mary, let's all go watch the film." Leslie Gilpin, Father Spodo Komodo might be driving on the Craggy Island Railway. I think there's a lot of potential for themed sets, but unfortunately you have to buy rights for these things, and that becomes the expensive bit. And I think a lot of manufacturers might view it as being, the cost-benefit analysis. It might not be a good enough return. There's not enough people who'll be like, oh, I must buy that to make it worthwhile. You see, I'd love to see like some of classic TV show ties in, so like the Professionals. Maybe that's something that Oxford Rail should do, because they already do the cars. So you could have like a Professionals one. So with and then, what was the one with John Thor was in?
Inspector Morse?
No, the one where he used to beat up baddies in the 70s.
Yeah. Somebody will shout it out.
Yeah.
Do.
The Sweeney.
Sweeney.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was it. I think a Sweeney tie-in set would work really well. Life on Mars as well. They've done the Cortina, but I think having a Gene Hunt and Sam Tyler figures as well to go with it would be pretty good.
The Professionals with Roger Moore and Tony Curtis.
No, that was the Saint, wasn't it? The Professionals was Brody and.
Oh yeah, who were the ones that? What was Roger Moore and Tony Curtis in?
That was the Saint.
No, there was another series with just those two.
I don't know.
The
Persuaders.
Persuaders. That's it, yeah.
Some of these have some really good theme music as well.
Yeah.
Only Fools and Horses. Come on, you saucy git! Hurry up and get Grandad out of the vein. So a geezer. What? What a 42-carat plonker you really are.
Probably.
Actually, there's something Hardy's Hobbies. Maybe that's an area they could do with 3D printed characters from TV shows to pair up with the appropriate Oxford diecast vehicles. I think actually for some cameos that'd be really good. And I'd love to see some appropriate Doctor Who figures. And we've got the police telephone box from Hornby. I've got one knocking about here, so it's over there. Everybody's got one of them. But I'd love to see a proper 00 scale Daleks, Cybermen, a Sontaran, obviously Tom Baker, John Pertwee. Well, actually, do all the Doctors. What the hell? Just do a full set, just like a box of figures, the Doctors, plus some of the key companions.
Man in a suitcase. Yes, I remember that. McGill, wasn't it?
Hey, what?
McGill was man in a suitcase.
57305 Northern Princesses. I'd love to have some Daleks and Cybermen on the layout. I would as well. I think things like this, right, is something you're really good at, is the little cameos of things going on.
Well, I had one, posted some pictures on Metcalfe today, because it was, show some of your Metcalfe buildings, so I showed quite a few, and then people were asking me to show more of the layout, so I did. And there's one I had where we've got the low relief cinema, and I had in front of that a dinosaur. Now, the film that was being shown was Raquel Welch in 1 Million Years BC.
Oh, that one, yes,
and then
yes.
the plastic dinosaur was stuck in front on a little park area, and offset, as it were, was a lorry with a film crew on. But unfortunately, I didn't have a photograph of that. But
the cupboard monkey is rocked up with some massively overscale
you said you wanted a Dalek.
The wrong scale.
You didn't say anything about scale. And a Cyberman. Part man, part cyber. A small metal dog. Woof.
K9.
Woof woof.
See, these are way too big.
Some guy called Dave Ross.
Oh, Dave Ross? Yeah.
No, but
He's
would they be
been
alright in O
sanctioned
scale?
by the benefits people.
Would they be alright in an O gauge sale?
Probably not.
I think they're possibly more like G scale.
G scale.
Hi Jenny, do you like the In-Betweeners and the YouTuber Ben Phillips, says McBenman1. Never watched the In-Betweeners.
I have. It's not funny. I'm still waiting for a joke.
And Ben Phillips, may have seen him in passing, but not a subscriber or familiar with his work.
There's just so many YouTubers these days that you can't possibly watch them all.
Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube has become quite a big place. When I first started out, there weren't that many people who specialised in model railways.
Well, that's because you had to wind up the generator before you could watch it.
I'm not that old. Brockwell Lane says G-scale. Yeah, I think that they do for G-scale.
Hello, Clayton Irish Models.
Hi to you. Garthian, those Doctor Who figures were originally by Dapol, but Dapol no longer has a licence to produce the Doctor Who memorabilia. I think BBC Enterprises took it back. So I don't know who makes them anymore.
Was Dapol the one that made a TARDIS console with 7 sides? Or was that a previous production group?
I have no idea.
Because there was one group, one company made a TARDIS that you could use on your little, with your little Doctor Who toys, and it had 7 sides.
How many should it have?
8.
Because a septagon, or is it a heptagon? Which one is it? A septagon or a heptagon?
The TARDIS is a hexagon.
No. The actual shape, 7-sided geometric shape, is it a heptagon or a septagon?
7 is
It depends on who you want. We English users recognise both. It's a septagon or a hectagon.
No, a heptagon.
Heptagon, that's what I said.
Because a hectagon is...
6.
No, that's hexagon. Oh, we're getting all confused here. I do know that, right, 8-sided is octagon, everybody knows that, but 9-sided is a nonagon.
Can I just point out that Jen is asking me for the difference, the very subtle difference in sounds between one word and another word that sounds exactly like it. And Jen has forgotten that I am deaf.
Yeah, selectively so.
Not selectively.
Yeah, funnily enough, I know that a 10-sided is a decagon and a 12-sided is dodecagon, but I don't know what the name is for an 11-sided. A pentagon's 5.
Alright.
But what's an 11-sided shape? What?
Dapol, I'm getting it wrong. The TARDIS has 6 sides, Dapol's console had 5.
Right,
they took one out.
Thank you, Adams Railway.
McBenman1. Hi Jenny, was the biggest little railway overall fun?
Yeah.
In a word, yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh, just before it hurtles off the top. Brockwell Lane, this is on a serious note, ideas like comedy figures would really get non-trained people into the hobby. I have to agree with that, actually.
Yes.
That's why I like that steampunk range.
Yeah.
I really like the steampunk range.
Garthian says undecagon. So yeah, I can see that, undecagon. So a 13-sided would be tredecagon.
Ian Ryan says there's no 11-sided.
Asking for trouble.
Yeah. The Millet 9257 says hendecagon.
We don't need any birds.
Yeah, like is there a cock? Oh, I nearly said cockdecagon. Oh no, whoops, said it. West Midlands train enthusiast. I might make a Doctor Who TARDIS from an 00 gauge porta potty. And see, that's it. See, if Doctor Who started now, he'd be in a TARDIS, not a TARDIS.
Yeah, we had a TARDIS, didn't we, on
Biggest Little Railway. Oh, there was 4 of them, and they were never in the right places.
No, and there was one of them that had to be abandoned because if you went in it and shut the door, it would tip over. Because it was
there was what we found that actually up in the woods, and it was really rickety, and one of our team went into it. So everybody else went around it and went, yeah! And all you could hear was, get lost, get lost! And this very dubious sloshing sound. Oh dear.
That was fun.
Interesting. Ian Ryan says, you were referring to Kepler's perfect solids. There is no 11-sided in Kepler's solids. Interesting. I did not know that. So there is a dodecagon, but not an 11-sided one. Interesting. Ben Davis, yes, I would love to get K9 model figures. I've got 4 figures. They are David Tennant, Cyberman, Dalek, Werewolf on my layout. I want more. We're going to have to. There must be somebody who makes like Doctor Who figures. Possibly not Dalek or a Cybermen, but you could probably get away with people cosplaying as the Doctors because they look a little bit more like normal people. So I would just love. See, for me, I think the perfect accompaniment to the TARDIS that I've got here is either John Pertwee, Tom Baker, or Peter Davidson. I think those three Doctors would work really well.
Ben Man, hi Jenny. How long was the line? I'm assuming it's relating to the biggest little
Oh,
railway.
72 miles.
Give or take a mile.
Mark Rice says that The Blob. It's a film I've always heard of, but never actually watched
I've
it.
seen the black and white version, I think it was.
There wasn't there a version with Steve McQueen?
I think that might have been the one. Maybe it wasn't black and white, but it's a very old one.
Let's have a look. Stefan Jones says, isn't an 11-sided polygon a hendecagon? I don't know. There was some discussion. It could have been an unidecagon, but I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that, I think. Ian Ryan, aha! You could have the Brigadier in Unit 2. That's a really good idea. I think that's one to ask Hardy's Hobbies, because they do 3D printed figures. And it may be, I suspect that officially they can't, and that's because of licensing issues. But unofficially, maybe they can.
Probably the Prisoner would be alright on an HO narrow gauge layout.
Yeah. Now, I've just had a really cunning idea. Any Doctor Who fans out there, if you go to Worley, I think Ali Pali as well, they have Model U. Go cosplaying as one of the Doctors and get yourself scanned. Then we can all buy a model of you. Ho ho, yes!
Ben Man 1, hi Jenny, can we expect Biggest Little Railway 2? No, I don't think so.
I love this
I
stuff.
think the Biggest Little Railway has been and done and gone.
Yeah, Love Productions has said no.
It
But,
cost an awful lot to
It
produce.
cost a fortune.
Was it
didn't
how many millions to do?
3.5.
3.5 million.
But just on the steampunk vibe, Laurie Calvert, if you watch this, then I did mention this, but there's our copy of Space 1889.
This is the role-playing game that I thought of immediately when I saw that new steampunk set.
Yeah. I think this is...
Come in, number 6, your time is up.
We need to play this. We need to have a game.
Yeah.
And we might even live stream a game of it on one of my channels.
Yeah. Actually, if they do some figures to tie in with the Prisoner, I really want the Mini Moke. Mini Moke proved to be really difficult to find. We couldn't, when we were doing Dr. Evil's Volcano there, we wanted some Mini Mokes because they just scream out like Bond villain. And we just couldn't find them in
What did we
Dublin.
use in the end? Was it little that go-kart thingy?
We used the little like baggage truck. They're over there actually. That's where they've ended up. What do we got?
Northern Princess says character options are the makers of the Doctor Who 5-inch figures. Yes, they are. The moment you said it, it's like, yes, of course it is. And I've got over 120 Dalek action figures.
Cool.
I have one. It exterminated the rest.
You only need one, don't you? It kills everything else.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
You really can't do the voice, can you?
Well,
Exterminate! It's all, you enunciate
It
each
gives me a
syllable.
well-
You don't go exterminate. They're not some cockney geezer
What geezer? Yeah, geezer.
just going out exterminating.
Got my sink plunger. Let's go out and exterminate.
Exterminate. What
Macbeth-
accent was that?
Yeah,
Going out to exterminate.
What? Yeah, you just going to exterminate like. Did you? McBenman one says, did you use Lady Anne as well, or just Silver Lady? Just Silver Ladies, actually.
Jenny sounded like an Australian.
Dalek.
Today, mate, I'm off to
She
exterminate.
needs to hop though. I've never seen a
Yeah.
hopping Dalek.
Yes.
Right, I'm getting off ski because
Yeah.
I've got to get back to finishing off your
Yeah.
stuff. Otherwise,
Can
you're
you
not going
take
to let me
that,
have any
that away?
soup tonight.
Put that in the fridge.
Notice I have not had a piece. I've been very, very good. Just in case you're watching, my darling.
Whenever it's not on camera, it's definitely not having any.
Yeah.
Right, see you
Leslie
later.
Gilpin says, Jenny, that sounds
Danger
like
Man,
an
yes.
Australian darling.
Yeah.
Struth, Bruce, put
Yeah.
another shrimp on the barbie.
Danger Man.
There's an awful lot of Aussies in the live stream, lurking or otherwise, going, you call that an Aussie accent?
There aren't any more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, which part of Australia are you from? Brighton.
I did love that with the Scottish guys
Yeah.
stuck in a lift, pretend to be English. It's like, what part of England are you from? Dumfries?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Garthia said it could also do a Danger Man set in combination with the Prisoner. Patrick McGowan starred in both. Yes, he did.
Can we have a Danger Mouse set?
Danger
Danger
Mouse. Danger Mouse.
Sorry guys, I've got to move again. I've not got much padding on my backside.
Oh, interesting. Leslie Gilpin says, Garthia, it's the same character. The Prisoner was the sequel. Interesting. Of course, yeah, because Danger Man was like the spy type thing, and then the Prisoner was when he basically tried to retire, so they bunged him off to the village. But I'm guessing the Prisoner was far more famous.
Yes.
I'm looking at the time. I'm starting to flag a bit. How are you doing?
Well, I need to close at 9:30.
Do you? Right.
Betty buys.
Yeah,
I've got to go swimming in the morning.
Mrs. Les doesn't let Les stay out too late. 'Cause it's past
I will
his
be able to
bedtime.
when I've retired.
You back at what time do you have to go to work tomorrow?
Well, I'm up at 7, in the baths by 7:30, probably before that.
Which baths do you go to?
The JW Sports Centre in town,
Whereabouts is that?
near Burndon Park. It is actually Burndon Park, where the old
right.
Wanderers ground was.
Yeah, because there's like a big Asda and
That's
stuff.
right,
there,
yeah. So I do I think I'll only do 80 lengths tomorrow, not 100, because 100 takes it out of me.
Yeah.
But you come out so invigorated. You can't walk, you know, you're dead, but you've got a shiny halo and everything. And then I come home, have a bit of breakfast and get to work for 10 o'clock.
McBenman one says, hi Jenny, have you been to Locomotion in Shildon? Many times actually, I do like going there.
Yes, it's time to put Les back under the stairs.
Yes, put him back in the rubber diving outfit with the bottom cut out and slam him under the stairs and say, get back to whittling, jablite!
I'll make him wire trees.
Which reminds me, actually, we need to do some repairs
Yes.
on War of the Worlds.
Yes.
So at some point, I think we need to spend an hour in there, and
Yeah.
it doesn't
one
need a
evening or
lot.
something, yeah.
Yeah, there's where the plaster got rubbed in the van. We'll just do a little bit of paint and some scatter,
Yeah,
blend
yeah.
it
Check
in.
the back seam. Does it need any
But
repairs?
the back scene seems fine, but a lot of the trees have fallen out.
Right.
And
Those are
that-
the
Yeah.
what do you call it ones? The
Yeah.
seagrass ones.
Yeah.
We can make some new ones for
And
that.
then that blooming town scene is a nuisance as
Oh,
well.
the only bit that's crappy on it.
Yeah, the rubbish bit. What I'm thinking with that is actually what we need to do is to get rid of that completely and actually rebuild from scratch, so it doesn't straddle the blooming baseboard
Yeah,
joint.
yeah.
But I'm going to have to fill in that huge enormous hole he had me cut for the electronics that he then had a paddy and didn't
Yeah,
do anything with. Sorry, we're just talking amongst
It's all right.
ourselves.
We'll sort that out.
Yeah. Apparently, the person who I live rent-free in the head of has passed through. So anyway, look, don't forget to like this video. We're going to have to start wrapping up now. It's been
Yeah.
great to have you.
I'll
all
come back
aboard.
again if she'll have me.
Yeah, you're always welcome. I've got a few people that I want to invite, and it's
Oh
become
yeah,
it's
as and
become
when
a-
you need a filler.
Oh no! It's always great to have you in. Are you coming over on Sunday for doing the stuff? Or are you got
Not-
some?
I was supposed to be coming this Sunday.
Is this the one coming or the one we've
The
just
one
had?
that's just gone, I should have come, and the one coming now, I should be coming. But it's this bridal wedding arrangement
Don't
and
worry
everything
about
else. My daughter's getting married, and the in-laws are making bridal dress and going away dresses and all the caboodle that's needed. But they're down in where are they? Malvern. So my wife has to go down. I can't go down because I can't see the wedding dresses and things like that. So I was going to come
I thought
this
it was
Sunday.
only the groom who's not allowed. Or are they worried that you
Well,
might...
I don't want to see the dress.
Oh, right.
Because it's all being handmade by Sophia, who is going to be.
To be honest, this sounds like a great excuse not to go down there. To be
But,
honest with
and that's why I was going to come this Sunday. But now Sophia, who's making the dresses, she's injured her back and she won't be able to do anything this coming weekend. So it's going to be another weekend. But I'm not going to let you down. It will
Look,
get
don't
done.
worry.
So,
There's no hurry. You've done the main bit.
well, I wanted
yeah.
to get a section over there done first. This is the bit that's
See,
sort of,
this is the bit I think maybe doing like almost like a cutout with card
yes,
that then gets stuck
stuck
in.
onto the back, yeah.
Might work better because we got that join in the wood there.
And I'm also wondering whether taking sort of Metcalf and buildings like that and literally making them absolutely flat, just the thickness of the card, to make the silhouette.
So basically, like cut out
Yeah.
one wall of the kit.
And also then do
Possibly,
some,
yeah, and then we'll do some like slightly muted out,
yeah,
like rooftops
in the back,
and like
yes.
chimneys and stuff.
So
behind.
I can work something like that.
I
Rather than
don't
trying to,
have any spare
no,
Metcalf kits.
I'll sort some buildings
Are you
out.
sure?
Yeah, and I've got plenty of paper, Metcalf paper, so I can make some silhouettes of back scenes and factories and chimneys and
Yeah.
almost a bit like the Pico back scene that you can get, but we'll actually
Yes.
do our own version of that
Yeah.
to go along there. And then from the chimney onwards, like I say, I want to try and carry on the landscape, but because the eye level is different there, I was saying earlier on, if we put some trees and a forest.
Oh, now here's an idea. Those sort of trees, could you actually make them so they're like flat to the back? So they're like.
I could do. I've got some floristry flat plastic fern-like things. I'll bring it. Have a look.
Is that
at
what you used on the Dr. Evil back scene?
some of those, yes.
Right.
But those would make better ones, and obviously, you can do all kinds of things with just some thin wire. So yeah, we'll sort that out. So
Right, no worries.
you be patient with me, and I'll get it
don't
done.
worry, and I'll get all your locos chipped. So tomorrow I'll pick up your 6-pin decoder.
Yeah, and so the black William McDonald or whatever he's called that's come in.
Oh, that's it. Maria Hollyman says, "Hi Jenny, you can get Doctor Who cake toppers. They're about inch high on eBay for about £1. That might be worth it."
All right.
Also, I think it was Derek Folks said as well, "Good day from Oz." So really, I do apologise for my woeful Aussie accent. So, g'day, Bruce.
Yeah. Well, I had some sad news from Australia last couple of weeks. My cousin, he's the same age as me, David Hallam, sadly passed away.
See the guy with the Volvos?
Yes, the guy with the Volvos.
Oh right. Had he been ill?
Yes and no. He'd had a heart attack 10 years ago and survived that and had stents put in. He had a farm in Queenbarrow or somewhere like that in Queensland. He hadn't been affected by the fires or anything, but he was working well and he was fitter than I am, and he's only 9 months my elder. And one morning he was in bed having a cup of tea with his wife and he dropped dead.
Ooh. Sorry to hear that.
Just one of those things. They couldn't be revived. The irony, well, not the irony, but the hard thing was that his wife had to try and do CPR on him for nearly 20 minutes until the medical services arrived, but it was too late. So sadly, I've lost basically a brother, even though he was a cousin out there. He was actually going to come to the wedding later this year, but that obviously is not going to happen now. We're going to be talking about going back to Australia for a long holiday sometime next year, because he had a settler's house in Tasmania. So it's been a real body blow, which had also made me sort of take stock of my situation and think, well, look, I don't want to carry on working as a picture framer forever and ever. I want to get out. I want to find somewhere nice with my wife so we can go out walking, can do things on the house, and I can get back to my hobby, building a railway, working in the garden with my wife, and likewise she can get on with her hobbies and everything else. But just goes to prove, each day you've got to live as if it's your last day, because you never know what's going to happen. And touch wood, my cancer at the moment is behaving itself, but that's something that's also an underlying sort of grumble that I've got to sort of think about contending with. But the sooner I can jack in the frame in, move house and get started on not Lobia number 3 or whatever it is, the better for me. And I know I'll be further away from you, but it won't mean that we won't be in contact, because you'll be invited down, and sure I can come up.
Yeah, because we're going to do like a layout building weekend
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, there's things in the
Oh,
pipeline.
yeah,
I'm alluding to the title. There are projects afoot, which is basically your railway.
yes, yeah, rebuilding it. And building it slightly, well, quite a bit different to the way I did it before. We're going to make it work first of all,
Yeah.
and worry about the scenery afterwards. So
Yeah, I think a bit much more like how
Yeah.
I did this one. So you get reliable running.
yeah, yeah.
So like we've been sat here and it's just chugging
apart
around.
from that one coach acting up a couple
one
of
coach
times,
being naughty.
took that out.
Yeah.
Everything's just gone round and round and round, and not an issue at
So
all.
not Lobia, did you have problems with derailments?
Not when I'd got some of the tracks. Well, yes and no. The tracks I got working with certain locomotives were absolutely fine, and certain rolling stock. But ironically, you put a different locomotive on the same track, different set of stock, and you would get issues, particularly on points.
Yeah.
But sometimes on curves, coming out of certain areas where maybe the curve was too sharp, I don't know. I had a lot of problems with my coaches, more so than I did with sort of wagons. But again, that is down to my sort of bad track making, although it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like some of the tracks in India, you know, which you still see trains going over. But generally speaking, I didn't have it working fully, and I want it to work fully, you know, with the points and the electrics and everything, so that I can then do what you're doing. I have trains trundling around, but I can be building the landscape around them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like you've said in previous views, that you come and you like to see what you can do to improve a little area.
Yeah.
And you spend time doing that, knowing that everything else is working fine, and gradually work your way round and finish off all the details. So yeah, I've got exciting times ahead. I'm just itching to get going, and
I can tell, and it's
Yeah.
a bit like before I moved here. I can remember planning out models,
Yeah.
like lots of different models. Oh, I could do this, I could do that, and I had grand designs. And the thing is, once you actually move in, all those designs go out.
Well,
the
that's
window.
it. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to build any more. Like you said, why don't I build a layout at home? I'd rather just keep the modules that I've got, knowing that I've got to dismantle them to some extent and probably rejig those. But I've got about 20 of these 4-foot by 2-foot modules that have got landscape on some of them, and some of them are just flat boards with the jab light on. But some of that jab light's going to have to come off and be restructured and everything. So rather than wasting time doing that, that's what's made me think, well, what can I do that is practical to do? Make little dioramas that can be set in sequence. Excuse me, weather the track. I've weathered so many I've weathered so many rolling stock. I'm a bit hesitant to do it on my engines yet.
Yeah, see, because stuff like that is just too nice.
Yeah,
to,
and I mean some heritage lines, you know, which is basically what
But-
Not Lobia would be again.
but
You'd still have them clean looking.
even express locomotives and coaches would get cleaned.
Yeah.
There was pride taken
Yeah.
in them. Freight locomotives and freight stock, yes, would get dirty.
Yeah.
But even then, there was some degree of pride,
Yeah.
apart from when it came to the end of steam in things.
I'm going to have to get a couple of motor rail wagons. I think I haven't got any of those.
Oh, what those tramping
Yeah.
around? Yeah, they're Oxford Rail.
Right.
They're not that expensive.
And
They're
what era? They would be like the 1960s, 70s?
They do them to fit from sort of like 60s right through to 80s, 90s.
Right, so they'd fit in with
Yeah.
my general kind
Yeah,
of...
yeah, just whichever livery you go for. I mean, the ones that are going round are more sort of like 1970s
Well,
into early 80s.
That's still fine, going by the cars.
Yeah,
are
but I
on
mean,
there
it's
as
all
well.
all down to what cars you
Yeah.
put on.
Well, I've only got sort of cars from the sort of the 50s through to the late 80s.
Yeah, but-
really. So.
Yeah, but remember, cars do hang around.
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
But they are great, and they're a really good
Yeah.
way of displaying Oxford die-cast
Yeah,
vehicles,
yeah.
because as you can see, they're the perfect length for 4 Oxford
Yeah,
die-cast vehicles. I know-
How would they get off at the
Oh, they'd be driven on and off on ramps.
Right.
They had like special loading ramps.
Yeah.
But Phil the Shirt down in town, he's got
Oh.
a couple
Oh, has he got them in his cabin? Are they
in his cabinet.
I
Yeah.
might have to go and say, well, I'm going to have to go and say goodbye to Phil, because I have dealt with Phil quite a bit over the years. Not so much recently, because most of my stuff has come via rails or eBay
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that.
I always feel bad in a way that I haven't been back to some of the local model shops as
Because
much
yeah,
as
we
I should.
harp on about supporting local model
Yeah,
shops, which
yeah.
is important, but sometimes you can't help but be bitten by some of the other big guys and what they're
Yeah,
selling.
and I'm also very mindful of the fact that I do get, not everything, but I get a huge amount of stuff sent to me.
Yeah.
And I do feel guilty for not supporting local model shops by buying some of this stuff. But, I have done. But also, I've done a lot of projects with some of the bigger retailers, and it kind of encourages me to buy stuff from them as well. So there's only so much you can buy.
Flymo chairman said, let Les have his little fantasies. We know he's locked in Jenny's base. No, I'm locked in her, not a basement, in her roof.
No, I'm
not.
We've got you under the stairs.
I'm free to go whenever I wish.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Just wink twice and they'll call somebody. Right. Thank you. allmousemedia.com/books. Oh yes. Don't forget you can buy my books. And,
how are the shirts and the mugs coming on?
Mugs are available through Teespring, but no t-shirts as of yet because I'm working the Cupboard Monkey to the bone.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Oh. So, don't forget as well that you can also still buy through All Mouse Media my books, and you can get them on Amazon as well. But these are great books, you won't be disappointed. So, still available through those sources. I think Waterstone's still got stocks of them. They are really good. I can well recommend
Hunt Chief
it.
Model Railway says that all the Hunt couplings are now out of stock.
Well, that's a good sign.
Good
It shows
sign.
they're selling really well. And as I said before, my review, I'm last to the party. It's really annoying because a couple of people broke the embargo. It was supposed to not be announced until after today, but a couple of
Have you
people...
got any photocopying facilities?
Photocopy?
Leslie Gilpin saying photocopy the buildings towards your back scene.
But wouldn't it come out as monochrome? Oh wait, this day and age actually, the colour photocopiers. They've got to be slightly washed out to give a sense of distance.
Yeah.
They can't be sharp because that looks weird.
The front ones in the front could be
Yeah,
like
the ones in the
sharp like
front
that,
can be
but
sharp, but the ones behind have got to
Yeah.
be sort of muted by the distance to
Yeah.
look like
that's
this.
one of the issues sometimes with the back scene, particularly with buildings, is not having the perspective of the building disappearing.
Yeah.
You suddenly get this sharp, like you've got there, unfortunately at the moment, the sharp edge of the buildings. But
Yeah.
there would be more actually painted into the scenery.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Again, we'll sort
These
that out.
are science fiction books, by the way. I am a science fiction author. So the best and simplest way I can describe it is a haunted house story set in space with a space-going passenger liners which are haunted in a way. I find it really difficult to describe my own books. But yeah, they're really good. Got rave reviews. Did a full book signing tour for several years for my books through
You've got one
Waterstones.
signature.
No. Sold thousands of books. I was very successful in my day. Just the trouble with books is that like here today, gone tomorrow. Very few authors kind of become household names, unfortunately. But you can still buy these two books plus the comic book collections that I do with the Cupboard Monkey. They are available. The great books, you won't be disappointed. But look, anyway.
Thank you to.
Thank you, Flymo Chairman One. You are on the case today.
Thank you everybody for your kind thoughts about my cousin and everything. Much appreciated.
But anyway, look, you all take care.
Yeah.
We're going to have to round up because it's past your bedtime. Mrs. Les
She'll
is
be
gonna,
shivering in bed. Where's
No,
my
she-
water bottle?
She'll be at the front door with
With a-
curlers with
with
a
a
rolling
rolling
pin.
pin.
Yeah. Oh, come on, get yourself in here, you
I'm a poor
naughty
head
boy.
There we are, posted that back, Johnny.
No worries.
Right.
Anyway, look, you all take really good care of yourself.
I'll
and
take
this
me
is-
tree and go.
No, and thank you very
You're
much for
welcome.
that other tree. But it's been great having all your company, and it's always great to have you all on the Jenny Monday Club. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already done so, and share it too. Tell everybody about the Jenny Kirk channel because I want to be popular. No, I think we do some great stuff. There's a whole mix of reviews, how-to guides, all that kind of stuff, and it's always great to hear comments from you. So don't forget to comment in the videos as well, and you take really good care of yourself. And
See you again.
me and Les, seeing you again.
Good night,
next
everybody.
time. Take
Good night.
care. Bye for now. the awkward bit where you get to see my finger. Yeah, do you want to end the streaming? Yeah, go on.